Tuesday night, waiver night, fantasy football night. It's always fantasy football night here. Hello to the four fellas, Bryce, Mark, whoever else is in here. I'm just going to wait for my minions to swarm me. And they will. They will swarm, Tim.
How I saw you standing over here alone. I wanted to invite you over to our table.
Oh, I won't be going anywhere with you, Tim.
Okay, why?
Don't you play coy with me, you little bitch. I'm gonna stay right here, and I'm gonna wait for my minions to swarm me. And swarm they will, Tim. Alone you'll be. Such sad little games we play. Right, Tim?
Right. Same old Dennis Reynolds. You look good, Nick.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Seems like a nice guy.
He's not. Go away from me.
We'll see if Dave can join me. He is, I don't know if it's internet issues, mic issues. It just sounds super fucking weird. So what's going on, Steve? Bryce, Steve, Mark. Some very American white boy names there. I love it. I love it. I love it. Not much, man. Not much. So I'm going to do a little thing with Dave, but he's not here. So I will just go into some waivers here and just some names that I've been digging. I mentioned Jamar Chase till Burrow is back. I mean, you might be benching Jamar Chase all year then, man. I wouldn't do it. Okay. Canadian. Well, I consider Canadians Americans, bro. Like, you just got that. You just say some words differently, right? A boot. Do you say a boot, Mark? Or are you like, can you control it? Because I think you guys can control it. From what I've heard. What up, CK? Andre, what's going on? Rob, do I smash this trade? Guy has no RBs. He's desperate. He offered me Justin Jefferson and Johnston for Judkins and Worthy. Yeah, I'm getting the Canadians. Dude, probably. And then if I were you, I would just flip Johnston for a high price. Yeah, as long as you have running backs to spare. I mean, Worthy's good and all, but he's still at an injury risk with the shoulder, and you get Rashee Rice coming back. So you're getting the best player in the deal. Yeah, I would do it. I would still start Jamar Chase, man. He still had 5 catches. I know it was all underneath shit, but dude, it's not Quentin Johnson hate. It's just right now he's wide receiver 4. And like is there any way that he's going to continue this? Like, I just can't. I don't see a world. The offense is going to take a step back with the offensive line issues. He's a downfield threat. They're going to run the ball more. And then Ladd McConkey is like wide receiver 55 right now. I mean, I'm not saying end of the year Ladd McConkey will be ahead of Quentin Johnson, but like Ladd will still finish at like wide receiver 30, which means that Quentin Johnson will probably be in the round wide receiver 15, 18, even with this hot start. What's that trade offer, man? Because Woody Marks, man, I wish I had more of them. I think I only have them in my league, and I kind of like them. Andre says if he trades Judkins, his RBs that he has left are Gibbs, Chase Brown, Javonte, Pollard, Harvey. Oh, you're great, dude. Because Pollard's still fine for 1 or 2 more weeks. I mean, he's not great, but he's getting all the work. And then eventually Harvey will maybe take a leap. Hey, we got TB back in here. What's going on, bro? This week, Strange, I do like the matchup against KC. I also like Fannon's matchup, and he's been kind of a forgotten guy. Like, everyone picked him up week 1 from waivers. But I think he's going to – here's the thing. With Cedric Tillman out, Fannon's going to have to play more snaps. He's going to have a bigger role. So I'm probably going to start Fannon. I have Tucker Kraft everywhere, right? 11 leagues. And I have Fannon in like half of those as my backup. Because I like him as like a stash. Like, I'd rather have him than Dalton Schultz or some of these other guys for like long term. So I think I like Fannon this week, although I like Strange this week too. So I would say Fannon has more upside this week, but Strange is probably a safer play. Yeah, Marks is a good start this week. So his receivers would be Jefferson, London, A.J. Brown, Tet McMillan. Oh, baby. I would do it, bro. You have the running backs to do it, and you're getting Justin Jefferson on the cheap. So that's the key. Dude offered Chase and Marv. Offered me Chase for Marv and Marks. Yeah, I would want Jamar Chase for Marvin Harrison and Woody Marks. I mean, as much as we love Woody Marks, like Nick Chubb is still going to steal some short yardage work. Joe Mixon's unknown. I've been saying he's out all year. Who knows? Like I think I know, but he might come back. The point is he has a bad offensive line on a bad team. So like Woody Marks is an RB2 at best. Marv isn't a wide receiver 2 at best. Jamar Chase is still a wide receiver 1, at least in my mind. So I'm taking an elite talents with the situation that can't get any worse. The matchups will get better. He'll get better. So I'm taking Jamar Chase from Marvin Marks. Marvin Marks sounds like a fucking law firm. Yes, I would do that trade. Benson for Allen. Yeah, do that straight up right now, man. What's up, Caps? We got Caps in the chat. What's going on, buddy? Oh, AJ Brown. Yeah, AJ Brown's in the shitter. I don't think they're going to trade him just because he wants to get traded, but they're in a Super Bowl mode right now. So, like, that's just AJ Brown being petty. You know, what they should do is trade him to, like, the Raiders or some shit. Like, you want to get traded? You want to put up some numbers? Have fun in purgatory. Yeah, I endorse that trade for sure, dude. You're just getting, I mean, especially if you have a good record, right? Did you say you're 4-0? The elite quarterback really makes a big difference in the playoffs. 1 week setting, like you want to have one of those top 3 guys. Yeah, nowhere near coming back. And like the point is, if they continue to lose and the Colts continue to win, and it's week 8, week 9, and he's like ramping up, but they're like 4 games under 500, why the hell would they bring back Joe Mixon? What's up, Mark? Losing Neighbors, IR, and Tillman for weeks. Looking at the other Giants or Cleveland. Judy available in 1 league. I would say Judy for sure. And I like both those, Judy and Diggs. Waller, I think we need to kind of pump the brakes on Waller, man. He ran 10 routes. Granted, that was his first game back, and now Tyreek's out. I get it, but like I think we pumped the brakes on Waller a little bit. Yeah, Caps. Like AJ Brown, like just doesn't look good. I was watching Matt Harmon, and he was talking about how his open score and like his open rating is so bad this year. Like he's not beating man, and like AJ Brown is notoriously a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL talent in terms of beating man coverage, and like he's not beating 1-on-1 against like average corners right now. So he looks a little out of shape. We said that, Cap, when we watched that first game. He looked a little fat and a little slow, but it's just they don't throw the ball. When they do throw the ball, they're not efficient. And AJ Brown just looks bad. So I'm still not like, I'm still starting AJ Brown. And like, maybe I'm just being stubborn, but another guy to pay attention to there is obviously Malik Washington, but Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, the guy they got from the Titans, he played almost every snap after the Tyreek injury. So what's interesting is Ikhine played way more snaps than Malik Washington. So Malik Washington's role didn't really change. He was still playing about 54% in slot only. So I think in 2 wide receiver sets, it's going to be Waddle and Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. So, I mean, he's just more of a sacrificial X receiver. Like he's just going to be lined up out wide, running deep routes. So Cedric Wilson has been decent for fantasy. Bryce. Yeah, dude, Bryce, I'm doing that trade. I would do that trade. No, I would keep both of them, J-Bob. And I would probably start Fields this week. I mean, he's got the Cowboys. They can't stop a nosebleed, so I would do that, Michael. I mean, I'm also pretty biased. I'm a big Chris Olave fan. But Dobbins, I mean, you already saw RJ Harvey getting a little more work. And the thing is, RJ Harvey's looked better than he had in previous weeks. And like it was always going to take some time for Harvey to be in the mix there. So I'd rather have Olave if you have the running backs. Try to get a sweetener, man. Try to trade just to do that as a strategy. Trade your worst bench player and try to get like a Blake Corum or a Rico Dowdle even, or some type of backup running back. Some type of high-end backup running back. I'd much rather play Fannin than Waller this week. Mark, I don't know, man. I like Slayton. He was already playing almost every snap with Neighbors healthy. I feel like this is more of a bump for Wan'Dale Robinson. But yeah, if you're in a deep league, like at least you know Slayton's going to be on the field every snap, and like his target share will go up. But unfortunately, he's going to see the best corner on the field most matchups. So kind of just matchup based, right? If they're playing a team that has a great corner, which the Saints really don't have. They play the Saints this week. Yeah. He could be played. Michael, that's a tricky one right there, man. I think I'm still going to go AJ Brown as much as we're slandering AJ Brown here. Because, I mean, quarterback issues AJ Brown has. Marvin Harrison has worse quarterback issues, if you ask me. Talent level, like, okay, AJ Brown's a step slower. Still better than Marvin Harrison at this stage of his career. Better hands, more proven. So that's close, though. That's close. What's going on, Brian? Would you trade I'm guessing that's Marvin Harrison Jr. and Devonta Smith to get Kyron Williams. I don't think so, bro. That's a lot. If you really need a running back, try to trade one of them. I wouldn't trade two of them. What's the scoring, Frankenstein? If it's 4 for a passing touchdown, I think I'd go Dart with his rushing upside. If it's 6 for a passing touchdown, I'm definitely going to go Baker. And you got to remember, I was actually going to get into this here in a second. Bucky Irving, I don't know if you guys just saw, but Bucky Irving is getting like a second opinion. Like they're not releasing a lot on his injury. He's got some kind of foot injury, foot or ankle. And I was just looking at the stats before I came on here. He has, what was it? He's averaging 22 touches a game. And he had 25 carries week 3, and he had 20-something touches against the Eagles. He was getting his brains beaten into that game. So, and he's a small dude. So, I mean, I don't know if he's playing this week. So, in terms of Mayfield, I don't know if that helps Mayfield. Probably going to throw more. Yeah. Westbrook-Ikhine had 8 touchdowns on what was it, Capital? Like 8 touchdowns on like 34 catches or 40 catches. He could, for sure. Unfortunately, like he's such a downfield threat, and like Tua just doesn't throw the ball downfield. So, like, he wasn't throwing it downfield to Tyreek Hill. Is he really going to throw it downfield to Nick Westbrook-Ikhine? I love saying that. I endorse that one, John. I endorse that one. I mean, I'm guessing Caleb wasn't your starting quarterback, or you had like a committee with like Drake May and Caleb or something. So Debo doesn't look great, and McLaurin's going to come back. I think they're in the market to trade for a receiver as well. George Pickens is just, even with CeeDee Lamb back, he's that dude. He's locked in this year. Oh. Ooh, well, at least he was 4-0. I literally have a league where I lost Neighbors and Hill this week, and I'm 1-3. So I feel worse for my situation because like I'm already behind the 8 ball, and that team was already struggling anyway because Tyreek hasn't been great. Not great, man. A lot of injuries. Is Chase Brown ever get things going? I mean, he's going to be better than what he has been because if you saw the beginning of that game, they were working him in, man. They were really forcing the issue. I think he had 6 touches in the first 12 plays. But he doesn't look particularly great, and it's not even the O-line. Okay, O-line problems aside, like if you're going to be in a bottom 8 offense, which they appear to be, which I don't think is going to continue. I don't care how bad Browning is. The weapons there are too good. But if you're in a bottom 8, bottom 10, bottom 12 offense, like that's not a good recipe for fantasy points. I guess the one upside with Chase Brown is he is a pass catcher. So the running backs that can survive in not great ecosystems are your Chase Browns this year, your Alvin Kamara's in year past. Not like Derrick Henry. Look what happens to Derrick Henry, bro. Like when their offense struggles, he doesn't even see the field. Brian, I wouldn't do that, man. That's just too much. You should set your sights a little higher for a better running back. Nothing against Kyron, but like I doubt you can get like a Marion Hampton. I don't know. You know what I would do? I'd try to get Derrick Henry. Trade low on Derrick Henry. Man, that's tough, TB. Again, I think it's scoring. If it's 6 for a passing touchdown or bonuses for passing yards, I take Dak. If it's a standard 4 for a passing touchdown, no bonuses, I'd probably go Fields. Vic, I wouldn't be touching Christian Watson, man. Like he's going to come back right around the same time Jaden Reed comes back. You got Dubs dominating. Wicks is still there. Eventually, Matthew Golden will do something. So. I love Jalen Hurts for fantasy, J-Bob, but in terms of a passer, not great. I mean, he literally did not complete a pass. He went 0 for 9, I think it was 0 for 8 or 0 for 9 in the second half. I'm going Kyle Pitts over Waller, dude. I mean, better offense, less receivers. Like, I just don't ever see a world where Waller's going to play a lot of snaps, like a full complement of snaps there. Where like we've seen Kyle Pitts is hovering around 75%, which is like his career high. I'm not hating on the Birds, man. You guys are the best team in the NFC. I'm just saying, I'm not hating on Jalen Hurts either. I'm just saying he's not a great passer. Doesn't mean he's like Lamar was never a great passer until recently. It just hasn't looked good. And like, I'm sorry if that offends you. It just, you watch the games, right? He's not pushing the ball down the field at all. And he's just not completing passes. As much as I love Justin Fields, Brulake, it's going to be Caleb, just because Caleb does offer pretty good numbers, almost elite numbers on the ground, and he just isn't a better offense. Justin Fields, literally his second best weapon is Mason Taylor, who's a rookie, who I like Mason Taylor, but he's a rookie tight end, and losing Braylon Allen's not going to help situations. So, I mean, you could probably still get a lot for Justin Jefferson now. That was a big game. It would have been a bigger game. He had a huge first half in that game overseas. But what is your worry? Just the quarterback play? Hey-oh. Yeah, man. Ben made that for me. I got to keep the old R2 in there, though. McConkey for Pollard. No, I don't know, dude. Pollard is going to be an expiring asset. Like, at least his snap share is going to go down, like, a lot when Tyjae Spears comes back. And Tyjae Spears is probably going to be back week 6. I'm thinking maybe week 7 at the latest. So Pollard just inefficient. That offense sucks. And by the time the offense is better or like improving, you're going to have Tyjae Spears in the mix. So you're trading so low on McConkey. I know you're kind of trading low on Pollard, but I believe in McConkey's like come back to relevance better than I do Pollard being like a set it and forget it running back. All right. I mean, whatever the case is, it's just with Jalen Hurts right now, it's not great. It's just not great. They're still winning games. That's the concerning thing for like AJ Brown is like last year they didn't throw the ball, especially to the second half of the year, and they threw it in the Super Bowl, but in this year they're not throwing the ball. Cyborg receiving Benson and Judkins, giving up Kamara and Golden. That's probably a 9.5 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, man. I mean, you're getting an R2 like borderline. I mean, Judkins is like a top 14, top 12 guy apparently, and Benson's still a mid-range RB2 in my mind. He does have an injury right now that it's undisclosed. It's just weird. They played Thursday night, but I mean, Kamara is probably right in the same range as both those guys, maybe even worse. And Golden is just kind of nothing right now. I'd probably buy low on Chase, but I feel like his name brand and where the guy drafted him, number 1 overall, you're not going to get the discount that you'd like. So I think McConkey is the answer because you can get him for peanuts right now. I can't. I'm trying to think the line. Like, I guarantee you could trade Chris Olave for McConkey, like that line. And Chase Brown, yeah, you could probably get away with murder for Chase Brown. I'm just less. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Ladd McConkey will be a every week starter for you in the future. Like it's not. It's gonna swing around. You know. It's scat, man. It's a scat man. Like he's getting every snap. He had 28 touches last week. Kenneth Walker is a tiny dancer, and he is sharing. Not only is he sharing 50%, Michael, with Charbonnet, he's losing third downs. He's losing all the goal line work. So, I mean, Sharp should have had a second touchdown. That got called back for holding in that game. So, you got to have someone else to drop, Bryce. I would still hold on to Golden just because he did look better. Somehow he just only played like 56% of the snaps. And he's still playing ahead of Wicks, though. Andre, I hate J.J. McCarthy, too. But you know who I love? It's Kevin O'Connell. So they're going to figure it out one way or another. I think it hurts Hawkinson more. probably Addison more. Like JJ's going to get his. Like he's going to have big ass games. He might be more inconsistent than you like than he had been in the past, but I mean, I think I'd be a psycho if I said I'd rather have Ladd over QJ, but like I think I'd rather in full PPR, I think I'd still rather have Ladd. I've seen this tale before, not just from QJ, but like I've seen guys start off amazing, and like I've also seen guys struggle the first 4 weeks and then turn it around. So I don't know, bro. It sounds crazy. We're talking about wide receiver 4 right now in the year, and Quentin Johnson. And we're talking about wide receiver 55 or 51 with Ladd McConkey. It has to. There's just no way. He's also the offense is gonna tick down a little bit, and Quentin Johnson lives downfield. They're missing not just their starting 2 tackles, 2 of the top 5 tackles, 2 of the top 8 tackles in Slater. What was that? They're missing 2 of the top offensive linemen in the league right now, both tackles. So like they're not gonna have the time to throw downfield like that. And I don't know, dude. I love Quentin Johnson last year. I defended him on every pod. I had him in every best ball league. When he was going wide receiver 70, I said he wasn't going to be a bust. And I did miss on him this year in terms of redraft, but I'm not trying not to be biased. I just think that Ladd McConkey was overdrafted for sure this year in fantasy, but he's still an elite talent and he has a role. They're not throwing the ball to his portion of the field. He's the intermediate guy, right? Keenan Allen's running underneath routes. Quentin Johnson's going down the field. Ladd's in the middle of the field, and they're just not targeting him. And he's not playing necessarily great. Trey Benson had an undisclosed injury. They're not revealing what it is. I didn't hear anything him. He didn't play much in the second half. I think that was game script. Like he did come in and play, looked fine. And they didn't say anything over the weekend. It's been like 5 days since that game. Ooh, man, Andre, those are 2 depreciated assets right there, bro. If it's half PPR, I definitely want AJ Brown. He's gonna have more touchdowns this year. In full PPR, dude, I'd probably rather have Ladd. It's just like it's way more cryptic with AJ Brown right now, with the tweet, with just him last year, the book reading, like all the crazy shit with AJ Brown. It's just like, and I know the Chargers are going to throw more. So yeah, full PPR, I want Ladd. That's just a rough. I mean, at least we've seen AJ Brown have a good game. Like week 1, Ladd had a solid game. It was like 5 for 77. And like last year, he's been amazing in terms of efficient receiver. Like I think he's like a 75, 78% catch player in terms of catching his targets. After the week 1, he was, I think, like 5 or 6 out of 6. And then week 2 was decent. Like it was like, again, 4 for 5, 5 for 6. And then 1 catch on 6 targets last week. Week 3, I think he was like 4 catches for 8 targets. So it's like, he's not really himself right now. I get Olave over McConkey, and I have a lot of Olave. My thing is that he's in the Saints, and there's a lot more question marks down the road, and the concussion issue. So it's close for me. But yeah, Olave is a lot safer. I don't think so, Mark. I think they have their roles, man. I think Sharp and Walker are 50-50 split, man. They trust Sharp more. They're real conservative on offense, so they don't like, it'd be like a defensive coach not wanting a gambling corner. Like you just want the guy that's going to make the fundamental play. And right now, Kenneth Walker's not making the fundamental play. He hasn't made the fundamental play his whole career. He goes for the home runs, which works out sometimes. But Charbonnet always just gets the yards that are blocked for him, and he's just doesn't fumble, right? Like doesn't run backwards, and is great in the goal line. I would rather be trading for Travion Henderson right now, RV, than trading him, because like better days are ahead. He did score a touchdown this week, week 4, that is. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know, man. I wouldn't be trading him if I had him. What do you guys think in the chat? This one's tough, man, because I love Keon Coleman. If you need, probably, bro, full PPR, Wan'Dale's definitely more valuable. When you start getting to half PPR and standard, I think Keon Coleman's going to have more touchdowns. But it hasn't been great. That's kind of a pick or poison. Yeah, I would do that, Bink. I would do that. Try to get a 2 for 2, man. Try to trade your worst bench player for his, like, one of his backup running backs. Something. We got Sub-Zero. Hey, Sub, did you get into the Discord, man? I sent you an email. I'm pretty sure I did. I was pretty lit last night, so. Andre says full PPR. What do you guys think in the chat? Help Andre out. Would you rather have AJ Brown or Ladd McConkey in full PPR rest of the season? I'm just not ready to anoint Quentin Johnston as a top 5 or even a wide receiver 1 at this point. I just can't do it. I can't do it. There's been so much inconsistency in his career. Maybe he moved past it. I hope he's moved past it for his sake. It's just a crowded room there. And I think if I had Quentin Johnston right now, I'd be trading him away in a heartbeat. If I can get even like top 10 return for the guy, you got what you got from him, which is awesome. And you probably started him at least 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Now you can just get out and like sell high. That's what you do in the stock market, right? You sell high, you buy low. This is Fields for sure. Fields. I mean, until ETN fumbles or does something stupid, I don't see any reason why the Jags would go away from ETN, man. He's playing well. Although Tutin's a beast, man. Like, watch Tutin's highlights. He's a beast. He's sturdy. He's fast. He's agile. He's like a souped up Bucky Irving. Not quite as savvy of a player, but it's going to take a while, man. And they're still playing LaQuinn Allen. LaQuinn Allen's playing fucking 18% of the snaps, all the third down snaps. Yeah, I would still bet that Ladd McConkey's a top 30 receiver at the end of the year with this slow start. So he'll probably be like wide receiver 20 for the rest of the year. I truly believe that. And I hate Ladd McConkey. Like, I don't know how I'm the Ladd McConkey defender. I have one share of him, and I did 30. No, I think my wife has him in one. So I did 36 drafts, me and her teams. We have 2 out of 36 shares. And that's because I got him in like the mid-third round in PPR. Most guys are taking him in like the mid to late second. Here's the thing, though. They are going to spy, but they were spying on that 43-yard touchdown he had against the Dolphins. There was a spy on that play. And he was dead in the backfield. So, like, sometimes a spy can be good for those long runs because the corners and the secondary are like, okay, we have a spy on this play. We don't have to worry about keeping our eyes on Justin Fields running. And if he just gets past that spy, you get 30 yards. So, I mean, Bryce Young, though, like, Bryce Young blows. That's the difference. Like, I'd just rather take the rushing upside. I'm still gung-ho on Olave. It's not like I don't like Olave. I think Olave, I'm just worried about the Saints at the end of the season, right? Like, if you have a winning record, like, Olave, we don't know the concussion thing. I'm not trying to bring that up all the time, but like, it is still a concern. Like, it's a 10% a factor for me. And now we're talking quarterback change. They're going to be they're tanking. So it's like, there's a chance of being shut down. There's just a lot where, like, I know there's no worry with that with Ladd McConkey. And we're talking about a 3rd round pick. Again, Ladd's not great, but yeah, I still love Olave. I'm starting him everywhere, like, for the near future. I'd rather have Woody Marks right now than Chubb. Unfortunately, I'm a big Nick Chubb guy. What percentage he's worth? How deep's the league, Justin? Let me know how deep the league is and how much fab. Nico, Ferg, Olave for QJ McBride and Kenneth Walker. I'm going to take... Fuck, that's tough, man. I think that's a tie, bro. I think that's a tie. I'm trying to think. I'd rather have Nico than QJ. I'd rather have McBride than Ferguson. And Olave and Kenneth Walker are pretty close just because the running back is harder to find running backs. I can't really pick a winner on that one. Which side were you? That's a good call, Mark. That's kind of what I was thinking about that one. Wan'Dale is definitely going to be a safe bet for 8, 12, 13 fantasy points, PPR points a week. Coleman's more of like 5, 8, 7, then he gets like 20. Senabuka and Jordan Mason for James Cook. I wouldn't do it, bro. I wouldn't do it. I love James Cook, but like Jordan Mason, I know he's coming off a kind of a rough game. That wasn't his fault. And Ibuka, especially with Godwin looking terrible last week, they rushed him back. You got Bucky Irving possibly hurt right now. Mike Evans is probably going to be on IR, or at least miss 3 weeks. So I'm not doing that. I get you're getting the best player in the trade, James Cook, but I wouldn't touch that one. How you doing, Chandler? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I sent you something. That's just making that decision is just super tough because they both suck. And who's more likely to not suck? I don't know. It's just those 2 names are tough.
I was between that and Muhammad.
Why the fuck would it be between that or Muhammad? Why don't you just pick a common name like a normal person?
Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Read a fucking book for one.
I mean, set your sights high, Michael, for QJ. Set them high. And someone will bite. Someone will give you not top 4 wide receiver numbers, but try to get Nico, Drake London. If you can, I would try to get one of those dudes. One of those second round. Brian Thomas, dude. I know it sounds crazy, but Brian Thomas was a top 15 pick. I think you can get it done for Brian Thomas. I still have some faith in Brian Thomas. Again, I hated Brian Thomas. 0 shares. I have 0 shares. Barely any shares in best ball either. But with Travis Hunter playing a lot of defense, that was my concern also with Brian Thomas. And it's crazy. He's doing terrible without Travis Hunter affecting him. Technically, yeah. Actually, Dallas Goedert's been their number 1 scorer. Yeah, nice call. Michael just said that. Yeah, Goddard had a big week 1 with 9 catches, and then he had 2 touchdowns last week. Those were cheap-ass touchdowns, by the way. They were both those shovel passes, but Justin, what did you say before? You still have 175. Sorry, I got to go back to your comment. Yeah, dude, I would probably spend I don't know. What do you think? 40% on Woody Marks? So there's not that deep of a league. So there's going to be some guys available. That's the only thing. So read the room and kind of look at the teams in your league, see who's interested, who would be interested in a running back. Look how much fab they have. You got to kind of play that game because the last thing you want to do is bid $60 or $80 and have the next highest bid be 25. Yeah, it's good you got them, but you want to just risk. If someone wants to spend $80 or $90 on them, then let them just have them and just be fine with Chubb. That's the problem. And TB is in the chat. He is our resident doctor here. So maybe he can chime in on the Bucky Irving injury because he knows all those things. I don't think it's that intense because he played the whole game. I think he picked it up at some point in the second quarter was what I heard. And he had that really long run in the fourth quarter. They're just using that dude too much, and he is just too small. So here's what I would tell you. Don't use a waiver claim on the dude, but if once waivers clear at 2 a.m., I'm picking up Sean Tucker wherever I can because Bucky Irving is pretty much owned everywhere. But Sean Tucker's a really good player, and if Bucky goes on IR or something, I don't know. Rachaad White's good. He's a satellite back. He's a satellite back plus. Sean Tucker is a better version of Chris Rodriguez. That dude's a fucking tank, and they're going to use him. So I like that. I like not using a waiver claim and getting Sean Tucker. Do you think Zay will get more touches with Cooper Rush? Maybe more touches, but it won't be as high value in terms of less likely to score, less likely for deep passes. I can tell you, I think Derrick Henry's going to get more carries. Yeah, the fact that you got the only running back in the deal, I get it. I definitely get it. I'm just, again, I'm sounding like a fucking broken record. I am just not in the market for trading for Quentin Johnston. And I mean, if it's week 6 and I'm still saying this, then you can fucking kill me. But I don't know, man. I've seen this before many years in fantasy of a guy that's just kind of underperforms, and there's other guys in that room. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Hunter looks like a bust on offense for sure, and they're not even playing him very much. But Robert Parks, what's going on, man? Good to have you back. I guess you saying you were 4-0. I think I would have held pat, man. because I just don't know how valuable Kenneth Walker is right now in a 10-teamer. Like he just his games are gonna be inconsistent. Now that right there is true. Saquon's a buy low. Definitely a buy low. He's looked a little sluggish. Hasn't had any long runs. Like, you think that's going to continue? No way. He's going to have not as many as last year, and there's going to come a point where I think they're just going to I'm not saying they're going to stop doing the tush push in the regular season, but like, if they win this week, they're 5-0. Why risk Jalen Hurts that many times? And I'll believe it when I see it, though, because they just run the tush push all the time. But like, I feel like you're going to have more Barkley carries inside the 5-yard line than we've seen. Start 2 at flex. Addison, Zay, Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen and Zay, I think. I mean, the offensive line is so beat up in Minnesota right now that I don't know. He's not the one there. Like, Zay is still going to get a lot of targets. They'll have a more traditional offense without Lamar. Keenan Allen's so safe. I mean, shoot for the moon, bro. Shoot for the moon. Dude, you can get any of those struggling, like, running backs that were taken in the second round. Derrick Henry, for sure. You can get him, I think. Just send out some spam offers, man, and someone will bite. Or just text some people in your league. I think he's the real deal. I mean, if you could sell him high, like, I don't know what that means, but if you could sell him high, as in someone's going to say, like, assume he's the lead back going forward, which we don't know. I think he is. I think he's the majority back. I don't know if he's the lead back, but he's going to be, he's not going to be a bell cow, but he's a pretty good fucking player, and he's got a really good fantasy skill set. They gave him some carries in the red zone, and he catches passes. So that's what's up. It's weird, and they're using him on both sides of the ball is just taking away his ability on both sides of the ball. Like, and you can't play him at corner full time because that would just be a bad draft decision by trading up to get a corner that isn't even really a corner. Like, corner takes more years than people think to like develop the savviness, right? Like, it's almost harder to play corner than as wide receiver because they can simplify shit as a wide receiver, but like you're a part of a team as a secondary member. So like, it's just rough, man. Like, he's blowing coverages and shit. The guy is willing to give me Zay Flowers along with CD and Corum for ETN, Marks, and Rice or Sutton. Give me Zay Flowers along with CD and Corum. ETN, Marks, and Rice. I would probably want Rice over Sutton in PPR. You're 2-2 though, so that's tough. That's tough. But you're also trading for an injured guy in CD. So like, do you really want to trade for an injured guy in CD and then Zay Flowers without possibly Lamar Jackson for 2 weeks? Chris, if you're 0-4 and you need something now, maybe I wouldn't drop much. I wouldn't drop any fab on Waller, like none. Don't chase the box score, bro. He ran 10 routes. I know it was his first game in 2 years. Darren Waller ran 10 routes. So that's a mirage, dude. I know it's nice with Tyreek out. That's a mirage. And then Slayton, I would rather have Wan'Dale. I'm sure he's taken though. So I would never not draft that much, dude. Like, those aren't league winning players at all, unless you're 0-4. If you're 2-2, hold pat. Oh, that was a badass play, dude. I'm glad they're actually doing that, Mark. Because the defense sells out. You can pass out of that. You can run out of that. You can do whatever you want. Hustle. Do that right now. Hustle to your computer and do that deal. That's a banger, dude. A.J. Brown and Breece Hall, and you give away Jacoby Myers and Waddle. Jacoby Myers is in a broken offense, and Jalen Waddle, if he's trading high on Jalen Waddle, I guess, is what he's trying to do. But, like, I'd still rather have A.J. Brown than Waddle. And then Breece Hall and Jacoby Myers. Like, Braylon Allen just got hurt. Like, it's an MCL sprain, so it's not an ACL, but he's going on IR. And Isaiah Davis, they only have one guy behind him now. So I'm doing that trade all day. I mean, Puka's worth the number one player in fantasy. The only player I'd probably want if I had Puka and I was trading is Bijan Robinson. Maybe Gibbs, but I don't even think so. I think I want Puka over Gibbs. Well, and TB, in terms of Bucky Irving in the medical stuff, he got an MRI yesterday, and as in Monday. And as of now, they didn't release anything on him. So it's not great. And I don't know. Again, tonight at 2 a.m., if you're awake or when you wake up in the morning, don't use a waiver claim on him. Pick up Sean Tucker, man. Sean Tucker's a good fucking player. Exactly what I was just saying, dude. Rashad White, and for PPR, I'd rather have just because he's going to have 4 or 5 catches, but especially with the beat up offensive line and beat up wide receiver core. But Sean Tucker is like one of the most efficient. What did he have? A 3-touchdown game? Like the one game he saw over 40% of the snaps last year, he had like 10 carries for 90 yards and 3 touchdowns. Well, Ryan, I think that's pretty much assumed. I'm surprised he didn't show it in his rap video, right? I'd rather have Flowers than Samuel. I'm pretty sure Terry McLaurin was precaution. I think they held out McLaurin and Jaden Daniels last year as a precaution. So Terry McLaurin's still the one there. I know it's looked bad, but like McLaurin got paid. He's still good. He's better than Debo. Your Ravens are looking really rough. We talked about this last night on the stream. Depending on what the news is about Lamar, I would wait for the Ravens to lose this week. If they do, they play Houston. They're at home, but Houston is that's an even matchup if you have no Lamar. And the defense is banged to shit in Baltimore. Then you bet the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. They're 11-1 right now currently. If they lose and go 1-4, you have the Steelers in first place at 3-1. They're the only team that could beat them in that division right now. Bengals are done. Browns are done. They have a bye. So if they go 1-4, Ravens will go to like 20-1 to win the Super Bowl. 21-1, 19-1. I love that because they're still gonna sneak into the playoffs. I believe the last spot in the AFC will be like 9 wins. Yeah, I don't think Quentin Johnston's gonna just fall off a cliff, Brian. But welcome, Brian, to the chat. This is one of the most knowledgeable fantasy minds I've ever had the privilege to have conversations with. Known this man a long time. So let's see. King Crazy, guy who has Bijan also had Tyreek and is 1-3. Is London, Walker, and Mason or Hubbard for Bijan and Olave? Yeah, that's too much, dude. I think that's too much. Because you're giving up London, Walker. I wouldn't give up that much. I would do try to do London and Walker, dude. Try to do London and Walker. Or try to do London and Mason. Try to do a 2 for 2. Or Hubbard. Yeah, definitely Hubbard. But I wouldn't do it. That's a 4 for 2, right? Or that's technically a 3 for 2. And maybe keep Olave out of the trade. Just try to do London and Walker for Bijan. I would do that. What's going on, Blake? Am I the only one in the world that is like not buying into Quentin Johnston? Like, I think I'm the only one in the world. Like, he's fine. He's startable, but like he's not a fucking top 5 receiver in the NFL. He's not a top 5 fantasy receiver and never will be for a whole season. Like he still has drop issues. Yes, he's figured it out a bit, but like I don't even think he's the number 1 receiver on that team. Like I don't know. We'll come back in 3 weeks and we'll reassess this, but like I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. The Reds lost. I didn't look at MLB today at all. I just know that at the fantasy community, maybe top 15. I just know we overreact to everything so much, right? Like Ashton Genty was the worst thing in the world, and like 2 weeks ago, now everyone thinks he's the best. Like I like bigger sample size, and that's just it's too small, right? Like Ladd McConkey is not awful, and Quentin Johnston's not a god. Like they're both similar, and I still feel like Ladd is going to have a better, from this point on, I'd be willing to bet somebody in full PPR. Ladd McConkey outscores Quentin Johnston. He won't finish higher than him on the year because he's down too many points right now. But like that's not the point of fantasy. Like what's done is done, right? In the past, you can't change. I'm talking about the future here. And I hate like doing a Quentin Johnson slander fest. Like, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying he's not a top 5 receiver. And like people that want him over like Jamar Chase, like that's just bad business. Give me Jamar Chase. I want proven guys that are all pros and guys that are number ones on their team, like no doubt. And again, I think we're not understanding that like he's a downfield threat, and they're not going to be able to throw the ball as deep anymore without fucking blocking. No, bro, the Ravens will be just fine. They're going to be just fine. Like they're going to limp into the playoffs, as in like with the record, but they're going to try to be healthy. They're going to lean on Derrick Henry these next couple of weeks. They may lose this week. They have a week 7 bye. As long as they can win one game before their week 7 bye, and let's say they're 2-4, they're fine. I get it, man. I did always see the potential. Again, like I had a lot of arguments last year with my podcast partner because he was my number 1 owned best ball player, and I thought he was a great value at wide receiver 70 last year. Had 8 touchdowns, had a really up and down ride, which this year has not been up and down. But like I never thought he was that great of a prospect coming out because he wasn't, like Brian Thomas is a better athlete. He's not as big as some other guys. He's not as fast as some of the big guys. He's a great prospect, not an elite prospect. But he is an NFL receiver, and he's a role filler, and he has a perfect role right now. Like as currently constructed, he's paired to a great quarterback, good coach. It looks great. It does. I hope it does, man. I hope it works out for him because like he was left for dead, and like they kind of told you what they thought of him why did they draft Trey Harris? That's one concerning thing for me. It's like, or just like confusing. I know like GMs and teams are dumb, but why did they draft Trey Harris in the 2nd round when, maybe they obviously didn't have Keenan Allen at that time, but why draft the same player as it's the same player, right? Quentin Johnson, Trey Harris, like the same comp, an ex receiver. And those dudes we know are falling off because injury to themselves, as in CeeDee Lamb, or Justin Jefferson quarterback issues and Jamar Chase quarterback out. Like those guys are still the truth, I want Nico Collins every day of the week and twice on Sunday over Quentin Johnson. Nico Collins is fucking like the only show in town there. Eventually that offensive line in Houston has to be a little better, right? Yeah, I could see that. And I always knew that like Trey Harris was also a project, maybe not as big of a project as Quentin Johnson, but whoa, God, this guy, you guys love Quentin Johnson over Nico. Yeah, we're talking about 4 weeks though. It's a fourth of the fantasy season. Let's just pump our brakes on all of this stuff a little bit. Okay, let's pump it. We've seen this before with a number of players on both ends of the spectrums. Guys that have sucked so bad and then they bounce back. Guys that have been awesome and then they go back. They always regress back to their averages. Now, this could be the new norm. Don't get me. I'm not saying there's a 0% chance, but like it's more likely that he finishes more in the wide receiver 2 territory. It's a decent sample. It's decent. I mean, 4 weeks though. Wow, I like this comment. I can't even argue with that one, bro. I mean, there's a lot of gayer things in sports and fantasy sports. What are you into, Ascleese? Hey, what are you into? Ortiz, I could see that. That's about like 40%. If you really need a running back and it's PPR, especially, I like him better in PPR. Again, Bryce, like I am one man. I know Story is on board with me on this one. You got to do what your gut says, man. Like, none of us know. We can say we know. I can say I know Quentin Johnson's not that good. You can say he's amazing. Like, until we see it play out in the future, we don't know. We don't know what's going on with Ladd. We don't know how like offenses prepare week to week. We don't know. would I start May over Herbert this week? I would start May over Herbert. May is running like don't they have the Bills, man. That's a great matchup. The Bills teams have been moving the ball on the Bills like at will this year. And they haven't been putting up as many points as you would like, but Drake May is just like their running game's not doing much, and Drake and Stephon Diggs playing a little better. So it's Mason, bro. Wally, it's Mason. Jordan Mason is the only show in town there. I know the offensive line's banged up, but I think they're going to the way to protect Carson Wentz is to run the ball with their bell cow Jordan Mason, who's 235 pounds. I'd rather have Ertz, Dustin. We went over this earlier. Darren Waller ran 10 routes last week. I know that was his first game coming back, and Tyreek is out, 10 routes. So even if he doubles that this week, he's going to run 20 routes. I want a tight end out there running 32, 33, 34 routes. I think Drake London, especially now, Drake London, typically Drake London teams are 1-3 or 2-2 at best because he's struggled. I think he's a buy low. He's on a buy this week. So if you have a good record, I like trading for Drake London. I definitely like trading for Drake London. Brian Thomas is probably the number one buy low right now. Not just because, and he's actually compared to AJ Brown, Brian Thomas is actually putting up some stats. Like he's getting 4 or 5 catches for 45 yards. But the eye test and the panic mode there for Brian Thomas, because the highlights are terrible, that's how you can buy low on Brian Thomas. And he was drafted so high, like people are just pissed. I just wish Mims played more. Like we were promised he'd play more, this year. And he's still like running a route on 40, 45, 50%, 55% at most of their pass plays. He's playing 40% of the snaps. Just crazy. They like Troy Franklin, but it's just kind of a mess there, man. Now, Mims is as good of a chance to score a long touchdown as anyone in the league. Not to mention you saw he got that end around, that carry touchdown. So I just wish they played him more. And that's what we were promised, right? It just doesn't happen. It's probably May, Jacob. I could see Fields against Dallas is a great matchup. Great matchup. They both have good matchups in my mind. Give me the guy that's a little safer. Here's the thing, man. I drafted Nico everywhere in 2020. Was it 22? Yeah, 2022. So his rookie year was 2021. I drafted Nico everywhere because I watched his film. And he was a part-time player his rookie year. I was like, this guy's elite, man. This guy's a legit X receiver. And then he busted because they had Davis Mills playing quarterback. And then he was going the 7th round, 8th round, 8th, maybe 9th round in 2023, his first breakout year. And I didn't take a single share because I was just like, fuck it. 2 years. You don't show me after 2 years. That's the new NFL now. If you don't show me after 2 years, then you're dead to me. And then now he's just a thing. So yeah, Nico's awesome. And it's also who else do they have there? Christian Kirk's nice for to kind of take some pressure away from him, but Nico's getting all the end zone targets, right? He's getting high value routes. CJ Stroud is terrible right now, and he is just as bad as his O-line too. It's not just an O-line problem; it's a scheme problem, and it's a CJ Stroud problem. But I think he's not as bad as he's shown, and he's definitely not as good as he showed his rookie year. It's somewhere in between. He will be better, and he's still tied to a better quarterback than some of these other guys. I'd rather have Stroud than Browning, right? Or Carson Wentz. Griffin, we talked about this at length yesterday. Me and Story, I think we said he was around the low 30s weekly ranked with Tyreek playing and with that offensive struggles. I think we said he'd be between 18 and 24, wide receiver 18 and 24 weekly. Here's the nice thing is after Tyreek got hurt, they weren't playing, they don't use Waddle in motion much. They use Tyreek Hill in those creative ways, right? Slot, motion. And usually it takes a week for this to change. So the second half, they couldn't adjust on the fly. So they just kind of put Malik Washington in that role. And I think Jalen Waddle is going to get that full number one receiver in a good way, that role where they're actually going to use him creatively and kind of how they started using Jamar Chase last year. But instead of just lining him up outside, they start using Jamar Chase in the backfield, and they use him in the slot, and they put him in motion. That's the upside with Jalen Waddle because, yeah, he's going to have a better corner on him, but he won't if they use him creatively, and they're going to have to because there's no one else there. So, yeah, I think he's a low-end wide receiver 2, I'd say, going forward with some good upside because he's as good as, a good chance of anyone to catch a deep bomb. Juggy, as much as I hate to say it, it's going to be Dobbins, man. Just because Tajay Spears is coming back and better offense. Like Pollard has had every chance in the world. He's leading the league in running back snaps this year, and he has 1 touchdown. And the problem is he's not catching any passes. Like Dobbins is catching as many passes as Pollard, which is just fucking wild. Yeah, Tolbert's has never really impressed me. He had some good games last year. I will say he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good in that game against Green Bay. Although Green Bay's secondary is pretty trashy. But yeah, dude. I think he's a pickup. I mean, he's going to play a lot of snaps, and like Turpin doesn't seem to ever be a full-time player. They like to use him more as a gadget player. So this week it's Darnold, dude. Darnold's got a great matchup. I don't know if you could trot out Geno. I mean, here's the problem with Geno right now. There's a fucking chance that Geno gets benched at some point. Just for a game, right? Just at halftime or something. If he throws another 2 picks in the first half, they traded for Kenny Smallhands Pickett. So, and T-Law has a bad matchup. Bad matchup for T-Law. I don't know if I'd say must start, Dustin, but that defense in Baltimore is beats as shit right now. So it depends on who you have, but I'd say he's startable. I would call him a flex, right? A little bit worse than he's better than like a running back 3, but he's not quite in that top 20 range yet. Start this week or rest of the season. Njoku, Mason Taylor, Rapper, Waller, Schultz, or Ingram. I think this week I'd probably be comfortable starting Njoku. Rest of the season, it's Mason Taylor over Njoku. You can't Waller, no. Schultz too boring. Ingram is Troutman played more snaps than Ingram. He did have 4 catches, but that's just a mess. That entire besides Cortland Sutton, that entire Denver situation is a mess. Not to mention you have RJ Harvey catching more passes now. Depends if you I don't want Kupp on my bench because Kupp is never going to like outside of a JSN injury, Kupp is never going to pop. Where like Kendre Miller could be a startable running back. If they ever commit to playing Travis Hunter and strictly offense, Travis Hunter could be a wide receiver 3. It depends, man. If you is this for sure, Robert? Is this confirmed? Hold on, I'm gonna check this out. You have Lamar out for 3 weeks. I don't see this anywhere, but he could be picked up. I prefer him if you're in a league. I have a couple that are return yards leagues. You get points for return yards. I'm definitely scooping him up there, but I just don't know. I think Nick Westbrook-Ikini is going to play the snaps, and Malik Washington's role isn't really going to change much. Now he'll be targeted more on his routes than Nick Westbrook-Ikini will be, but if he's only going to be a 60% snap player on a pretty bad offense, I don't know. I have hope for RJ Harvey, man, and he's kind of. Last week, granted, it's hard to take anything serious when you play the Bengals, but I think they're phasing Tyler Bidet out, and if it's just gonna be a two-back system, even if it's 55% Dobbins, 45% Harvey, the fact they're playing him in the red zone is nice. He's got juice, man. I like him as he was always gonna be the guy eventually. I feel like, but it's hard to start him right now. I would trade for RJ Harvey right now. I would also trade for Travion Henderson right now. It's probably Goddard, man. I think it's Goddard. Until they start throwing the ball to their receivers and downfield, Goddard's going to soak up 6-7 targets, and apparently they're designing little dump off passes in the red zone for him. So, not Hawkinson. God, no, not Hawkinson. He gone. Where did you see this at, Robert? Yeah, Cedric Tillman is out for 4 weeks, so that's why Njoku. I also like Fannin this week because Fannon's going to be really. I mean, they've already been using him a decent amount, but both those guys get a boom, and like Jerry Jeudy sucks. So, damn, dude. Yeah, well, all right. Maybe now is the time to bet on the Ravens. If you think that they can do it with Cooper Rush, bet on the Ravens to win the Super Bowl because that's also a bet against Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Yeah. Ooh, Brian, good call, man. Theo Johnson, he's a monster of a man. Monster of a man. That one's probably still Juwan Johnson, Ryan. In full PPR, I think Juwan, even any setting, actually. Juwan Johnson is fine. Like he's getting all the routes, all the targets. Justin, Judkins, Hampton, Irving, or Mason, full PPR. If the reports come back good with Bucky Irving, it's probably Bucky Irving, then Hampton, then Mason or Judkins are pretty much tied. Yeah, the Cards are a strong play. So I'm gonna go to one of my leagues that has Fab. I actually put money in on like a small bid for defenses. The hell is it at? The Giants. Giants are a really good play this week. Who is the other one? There was one other one. And obviously the Chiefs are good, but they weren't even on there for me. So I like some of these other ones better. So it's the Browns, Cardinals, and Giants. The Browns are just a good defense in general, not a bad matchup. And then I think the Giants are my number one. I put the most money on them. Their defensive line finally showed out. Yeah, bro. A-Chain is already averaging 5.5 catches a game. So he's safe as anyone for 6 or 7 catches. It's going to almost be like CMC usage. And this could also be a boom for what does this say? This could also kind of be a boom for Ollie Gordon because I feel like they're going to put both of them on the field a little bit. So A-Chain will play a little bit more snaps, and so will Ollie Gordon. So they might, have 2 running backs in the backfield. They might kind of use A-Chain in motion out of the backfield while they have Ollie Gordon in the game. They might put A-Chain in the slot. So I like that. Alex, he's 100% a legit and elite real-life tight end, and he is also an elite fantasy tight end because we saw him. I mean, he got a rushing touchdown. They're going to use some wildcat around the goal line. Like imagine that backfield would just they should do that more. Tyler Warren and Jonathan Taylor are in the backfield running a wildcat. That is death, man. He's great after the catch. Like I love Tyler Warren. I probably would, Ryan. I mean, Hawkinson, he got it was 4 for 40 or something like that in that overseas game, but the 3 of them came on the last 2 drives when it was just dump downs and like he has no juice right now. He's bad. Let's see. You need me to talk you out of a trade? Out of a trade. Sutton, Tet, Judkins for Amon-Ra, Chase Brown. So you trade Sutton, Tet, and Judkins for Amon-Ra and Chase Brown. That's a lot, bro. Oh, that's a 10 man? I still don't think I'd do it, man. I'd want more. Just because Chase Brown could be a nothing in a 10-man league. So you're essentially giving up Sutton, Tet, and Judkins for Amon-Ra. So no, I'm not doing that one. That's too much. Drop if do Sutton and Judkins or something. See if he'll do that. Or yeah, Sutton and Judkins. Do that one. Or do Benson instead of Judkins or something. Yeah, that's too much. I think, Sean, I'd rather have Wandale than Troy Franklin, dude. There's a lot of guys there in Denver, and Troy Franklin drops a lot of passes. I know college teammate of Bo Nix, I get all that, but he's not the one there. At some point, Evan Ingram might become a guy. RJ Harvey's becoming a guy. Pat Bryant might get some more snaps. He's a really good blocker, and like Sean Payton likes blockers. Troy Franklin's not a good blocker, so that might get him on Pat Bryant on the field a little bit more. So I'd rather have Wandale. in full PPR especially. Oh my word. Kelsey and Pittman for Puka? Is that guy on crack? Like if it was like Pittman and like Trey McBride, that's a ripoff for him. If it was Kelsey and like Drake London, that's a ripoff for him. Yeah, I would do that trade in a heartbeat, Josh. I like Tet. Ted's actually a buy low, but that guy's buying high on Tet. And Nico Collins is a set in and forget it, like borderline wide receiver 1. It's Daniels if he plays. If he plays, it's Daniels for sure. It's still Jaden Daniels, and they're 2-2, so he's gonna be running. That's a tough one, man. I think I'd probably still lean Kelsey. Here's the thing. I guess if McLaurin misses, I'd go Ertz. If McLaurin plays, I'd go Kelsey. How you doing, Double D? Cheerio. That's a tricky one, man. I think I'd rather still have Marv. I know it's been rough for Marv, but I said the stat after the Thursday game. Marv has played 20 games in his career. He has 10 touchdowns. As bad as it's been for Marv, again, look at Quentin Johnson, dude. Like, it's the same kind of thing. So look at Quentin Johnson, and look how good he is now. Like, Marvin Harrison is 100% a better prospect coming out than Quentin Johnson. So it can happen for Marv. Now he is tied to Kyler Murray, unfortunately, but Olave doesn't have a quarterback either, and Marv doesn't get hurt. So I think that's the deciding factor. Marv is an Iron Man, never got hurt in college, has never missed a game in the pros, I don't believe. So I'm going Marv. Oh, appreciate you, J-Bob. Thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you, dude. Good chat on the Quentin Johnson. I appreciate the competitive banter, and I like that we kept it classy. That's the key, right? It's like we can all disagree on things and hear the other person out and maybe even change their opinion. That's what we want to do on this channel, is get other people's perspectives and like form our own opinions and win money. So I do appreciate that, dude. Hopefully I see you again. Hey, what up, Jay? Sorry, I got a little behind in the chat here. I'm way behind in the chat. Where am I at? Here we go. What'd you think of this team, 12 team, 3 flex spots? Dak, Pickens, Tet, Gibbs, Bucky, Warren, QJ, Scat, and Jacoby Myers. That's stacked. Any team that has Scatabo is usually going to be stacked because it was a 10th round pick, right? You should definitely try to pick up Sean Tucker or Rachaad White if he's available, Alex, just because the Bucky uncertainty. We're not going to know anything until waivers are cleared tonight, so you kind of have to. Dude, Sean Payton does look like an old woman out there, doesn't he? Fucking hilarious. He's like an old woman mixed with he's starting to look a little bit like Bill Belichick with the hoodie. Dozer, it's Njoku, bro. Waller played 10 snaps. He ran 10 routes. Played like 40% of the snaps, maybe. Wyatt, I traded Jennings, McConkey, and Dart for Montgomery, Olave, and Rodgers. Fields and Lamar in a double flex league. So it's a double, like you could start 2 quarterbacks. If you can start 2 quarterbacks, I like it because you got the quarterback with Lamar being out. If it's not a 2 quarterback league, I don't like it. Well, shit, you gave up Dart. You got the running back, I suppose. If it's full PPR, I want Jennings, McConkey, and Dart. If it's standard or half, I probably want Montgomery or Olave. Yeah, Kelsey's pretty washed, but he's still tied. He's still going to catch some touchdowns now, you know? Josh, Breece Hall and Tet for Nico. With Braylon Allen being hurt now, man, on IR at least like 4 or 5 weeks, like Breece Hall is going to be better, play more snaps, and Tet's going to pop off at some point. So if it's a 10-team league, I do that. I want to get the best player. Like I always want to get the best player in the trade, but if it's a 10-teamer, yes. A 12-teamer, probably not, bro, because As much as I love Nico and he's a wide receiver 1, I still feel like Tet's going to be a top 25, top 26 receiver, and Breece Hall is still a running back too. So it depends what kind of depth you have too. I mean, there's a lot to that one, but shallow league, I love it. I love it in a shallow league. What's up, Jay? Where's Silent Bob? Double D, I traded my wife for a pack of cigs. Whoa, they must be Newports. Get that joke? I would still have CD as a wide receiver 1. Like, I still want him. I think like the line would be Drake London, right? Because Drake London, I want CD when he's playing over Drake London, but you might miss 2 or 3 weeks. The first week might be a little rough. He's more at risk to re-aggravate that injury or something else. But that defense in Dallas is trash. So you're getting all the work in the world. So top waivers this week. Let's go through it, huh? So running backs, it's Rachaad White right now with the uncertainty. And I like Sean Tucker. And do not use a waiver claim on Sean Tucker. Woody Marks has got to be the number 1 guy, actually. Number 1, he's 33% owned. Ollie Gordon, move him up a little bit. Rico Dowdle needs to be owned everywhere. He's at 19% on Yahoo. He is splitting work, and they had a pretty bad report saying that Chuba's not hurt. That's not why the snap share was so close between those two, which is not a ringing endorsement on Chuba. They're saying they like Rico. Jaden Blue can be added, not wavered, added. I believe Kendra Miller as well, and then maybe even Justice Hill. I would say if Alec Eilman is available, we want to do that. You're trolling, Ryan. You're trolling. You did not trade Kraft for Waller. I don't believe you. Because that's not a good trade. Darren Waller is definitely a smokescreen, dude. Sean of the South. Woody Marks a league winner. No, I don't think anyone could be a league winner on that team currently, just because they all line sucks and they're not scoring a lot of points. But if you're getting them off waivers, I mean, that's kind of the idea of league winners. I think he could be a league helper. I'll call him that. I would do that. I would take Ted over Keenan Allen, dude. Ted's about to pop this week or next week or sometime in the near future. He's got no touchdowns this year. He's got multiple big plays called back, multiple big plays barely broken up. He had one time his foot barely was out of bounds. So I know you're trolling. Because you know my Tucker Kraft love. So how would you trade Henderson and Woody Marks for Tet and Benson? Yeah, I want Tet and Benson all day. All day. Yeah, good call, CK. Good call. Yeah, I would, Alex, just because, Thornton's playing well, but like you only have 2 more weeks of, I'd say, usable Tyquan Thornton, if you can even be usable now, because you're gonna have Rashee Rice back. So yeah, good call. Spears should already be owned. If you have an IR spot, you should have Spears for sure, especially with how Pollard's looked. Well, apparently, Jay, we've had reports that Lamar's probably going to be out until the bye week, so he won't play till week 8, which is just wild. And that was the reason that I took Josh Allen over Lamar. And because Lamar does outscore him like points per game every year, but Josh Allen has yet to miss a game in his career. I think he's missed 1 that was like his rookie year, and Lamar has had multiple years where he misses 2, 3, or 4 games and then plays a little gimpy. So give me Josh Allen, bro. It's Sam Darnold this week, but it's Matt Stafford. If it's multiple weeks, give me Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford has a week 8 bye. So does Sam Darnold. So that doesn't matter. I want Matt Stafford. He had 370 yards passing last week. He's got Puka. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing there. But if it's a 1-week thing, I probably want Darnold this week. Let's see here. Which running back, wide receiver in a smash spot this week? I'm going to go look at the guys I'm looking at bets here for. You know what I think might be not a must start, but a guy that people are benching right now is Jameson Williams. It's a good matchup. It's a really good matchup. and he's been hit or miss, right? And I think this is a spot for JMO. I think I'm gonna be betting his yards as long as it's not over 45. So I think Jameson Williams is that guy. I can't call Lad McConkey a smash spot right now. Smash start. Well, it's Waller over Fryermuth for sure, Jason, because I was looking at the snap shares. Darnell Washington played 84% of the snaps, and Jonnu Smith played like 45, and Pat Fryermuth was like, he was way below that. He was at like 20%. So they are not playing Pat Fryermuth. I don't get it. They paid Pat Fryermuth a lot of money. So it's not Pat. You can't even start Pat Fryermuth in like a 20-team league right now because he's going catchless. So it's Judkins, bro. Now Benson does have a fucking great matchup this week, so I could see it, and I love Benson, but Judkins is getting all the work. They're not pulling him off the field on third downs very often. So yeah, Ryan, I'm keeping Njoku, bro. Especially you have Kittle, right? So you're not looking for a long-term solution. I would say Strange for the next, I like Strange and like rest of season over Njoku, but this week I like Njoku. Maybe next week I like Njoku as well. I want Hawkinson over Waller, but I want Strange over both of them. I do, Dustin. Chubb is taking a backseat. I will say, I still feel like Chubb is their short yardage back. I mean, he's still Nick Chubb, like not ability-wise, but he's still Nick Chubb. He's trusted. So that's the worry with Woody Marks. Well, as much as I was ripping on Quentin Johnston, it's Quentin Johnston for sure. And then probably Jacoby Myers. We got to see what's up with Terry McLaurin's injury, Jaden Daniels' injury. So Quentin Johnston for sure, and then just pay attention to Terry. I would probably start Terry if it's all systems go. You know what? It's going to be Tunges, man, because there's a chance that Ricky Pearsall's out this game. That's a probably likelihood, and there's a decent chance Juwan Jennings is out this game. So Tunges is going to get like 8 targets. So give me Tunges. I would rank it Tunges and then Juwan, then Fannin, even though I like all those guys this week. Wally wanted to trade for Bijan. CD is the package. Who else should I add? Well, add the worst one. He's going to want a running back. So I would probably add Kenneth Walker. If you could do CD and Kenneth Walker for Bijan, that's a fair trade. Like a fair trade for both parties. Hell yeah, Jason. Congratulations, man. Happy birthday. How old are you? I would sing a song, but I'm a drummer. If I had my drum kit set up, I'd play a song for you. Dustin traded Henry and Chase Brown for Barkley and Dobbins. I like that. I mean, you're trading low on Barkley. I like that trade. Again, I'm going to assume this is full PPR if you guys don't tell me. J-Mo, Benson, A.J. Brown, Marv, start 3. As much as I think J-Mo's going to smash this week, it's the last 3. It's Benson, A.J. Brown, Marv. Shop him around, man. And just make high offers for him. Try to get as much as you can. Here's the key. It's not about like what you can get from him. You got to find the proper team. So you want to look at a team that has lost James Conner that doesn't have Trey Benson. Look at teams that are in need of running back help. You can get the most back there. So it's not about who you get, because you can get someone good for them, but you're going to get more from a team that has no running backs and has a losing record. They're going to be panicked. That's the key. Start Marv, BTJ, or Mason this week. Again, I'm going to assume this is PPR. I'm still starting Mason. He's just too safe. He's a bell cow running back. I would rank it Mason, Brian Thomas, Marv. Like them all, though, this week. Jay, sending a trade for Tet and Rice for Allen, Marks, Pollard. Sending a trade for Tet and Rice for Allen, Marks, Pollard. Yeah, bro. Love that. Love that trade. That's a smash. Trade Chase Brown and Keenan for Monty and Rice. Yep, I'm doing that one. If you have a winning record, if you're 2-2 or 1-3, you can't do it because you might lose 2 weeks before Rashee Rice comes back and your season's on the fringes then. So if you're 3-1, yes. If you're 4-0, definitely. That's correct. Arthur Smith. Like Darnell Washington, I love that guy. He is a tank, bro. he just looks like an offensive lineman. He's actually pretty nimble for his size. But, like, dude, they paid Pat Freiermuth. That was obviously before they traded for Jonnu. And they paid Jonnu, and they're playing Darnell Washington. Really wacky. Oh, again, this is a reverse of what I told Mason. This is a reverse of what I was just saying to the other dude. You need to find a team that's 4-0 or 3-1 that wants to take on the high upside of Travion Henderson that can use, can afford to lose a game, or he's going to be on their bench. And then find a team that has a winning record that is flush at wide receiver, and you can make yourself a good deal. I think a Chris Olave line, something like that. Well, Josh, I don't think Calvin Ridley's playing this week, so I think your decision will be made up for you. Even if Calvin Ridley plays, it's going to be close. If Ridley plays, probably Ridley. If he doesn't, it's Slayton. I love how he says bye weeks and injuries. Yeah, we know how fantasy gets. Like, some teams get rough, man, whether you draft bad, whether injuries hit you, whether bye weeks. So, like, you don't have to defend it to me. I don't judge. We're all just trying to get, to fucking make the best we can of our teams. Dustin, probably still keeping Ertz over Strange. I'm a little worried about Ertz in the long term. Like, he's slow, he's old, like, he's on one leg right now. I don't think he's hurt necessarily, but, like, his long-term prognosis isn't great just based on his age. But with McLaurin banged up, with their running game being trash. Yeah, Alex, here's the problem with Otten. And I always like Cade Otton. But that offensive line in Tampa is so beat up right now that Cade Otton, yes, is playing 95% of the snaps. He is only running like 40% of the routes because he's blocking. Like, they have him as an extra offensive lineman. So he's pretty much a touchdown or bust guy. And they're running the ball so much in the red zone. And they're scoring a lot of longer touchdowns too. So, yeah, it's Mason Taylor. That is how you win fantasy, baby. You trade low for dudes, and they're going to pop. Well, happy birthday, man. 26 is a fun age. I am jealous. I'm pretty old, so enjoy it while it lasts. Be safe, though, bro. Don't drive. Uber. I mean, you're young. You know about Uber. I would probably say Isaiah Bond looks pretty good. He's a game breaker, man. He's super fast. He should have been like a third-round pick if he didn't turn himself in for that, what was it, a sexual assault or whatever. He went undrafted. Slayton's going to play every snap. Malik Washington is going to be targeted when he's on the field, but, like, I think I'm going to rank it Slayton, Bond if you want an upside play, Washington's safer. I get Jamar from the trade. Should I go Jefferson, Chase, and then Flowers, or Johnston at flex? I mean, I think you might want to start John again. I think I would start Johnston over Flowers if you have no Lamar. Like, it's just not going to be a good situation. What's the scoring, Wesley? Because if it's full PPR, I could see just going with the wide receiver. If it's like half PPR or it's 6 for a passing touchdown, you probably have to blow your fab on rush. Is there anyone else available? I mean, I heard 2 to 3 weeks, but I haven't seen that reported anywhere online. So, like, I'm just going off what the chat said, and multiple people did say it in the chat. So, yeah, dude, I don't know. You're just not. The problem is you're not going to know. Here's the thing: is do you think someone else is going to try to block you and pick up Cooper Rush? Because who the fuck wants to start Cooper Rush? Oh, Tootin definitely has long-term value, bro. You want to hold on to him. Now, I was of the belief that he was going to just take the job by talent, which does not seem like it's going to happen anytime soon. But Gatson is still in a committee at tight end, and they're going to probably want to play their other tight ends who block better with their offensive line problems. So I would say Tootin. I'd rather have Tootin on my roster. Oh, no shit, man. I'm from Chicago, so I'm not too far from there. See Gaddis, good to see you, man. Fields or Daniel? It's Daniels. If he plays. I think you want to get ahead of this Hubbard thing before, because his numbers have been better than they should be. He's had 2 like garbage time longer reception touchdowns, and that's not how he's going to make his money long term in fantasy. If he's not getting like the volume, which is what Chuba Hubbard is, and the goal line carries, all the goal line carries, Dowdle's like splitting goal line work with him. Like, you got to get rid of him now, man. Again, find a team that needs a running back because he's better in the short term than it appears in the long term because that's trending towards a 50-50 split. So just, again, find the team and, if you're trying to probably get a wide receiver, you're trying to replace him with a running back because it's going to be weird to trade him for a running back. Be growing stuff. Pick 2, Chase Brown, Woody Marks, Keenan Allen, or Pittman. If it's PPR, just go with the 2 wide receivers. Yeah, Pittman for sure and Keenan Allen for sure. I mean, I still believe in Chase Brown, but it's just rough right now, man. Like I would probably start Chase Brown just because I think the good week's coming. It has to come. That's what I would think. That's what I would believe. No, he definitely has improved his catching technique, Jacob. So that's promising. 9 targets a game is just crazy because they've been throwing so much. So it's like I don't necessarily know if his target share is going to go way down. It will go down because lads will go up, but I don't think they're going to be throwing the ball 40 times a game. If that ticks down to 34, now you're looking at maybe 7 targets a game, which is still solid, but like 9 targets a game is elite. I have Jordan Mason, Chuba, Henry, and Bijan. Should I try to ship Henry for a decent wide receiver? I have Jordan Mason, Chuba, Henry, and Bijan. Try to trade Chuba, man. I still believe in Derrick Henry. You can't trade Bijan. You can wait for one more week of Jordan Mason to pop off with Aaron Jones coming back at some point. Just he'll eat into his work share. He's not taking the starting job back, I don't think. But I would not trade low on Henry right now. Try to trade Chuba, man. Jay says Keenan, Pollard, Marks for Tet, Rice, Henderson. If you're getting Tet, Rice, or Henderson, you win that trade by a mile. And you're getting Rice on a 4-0 team. Do that so easy, bro. So easy. Yeah, Calvin Austin's a drop. Like, he's a drop. He's been a drop. He had a couple good weeks, but like, no. And I still think I think that Freiermuth will start playing more. They're playing so many tight ends there. I don't want Calvin Austin. Yeah, it's hard not to flex Johnson for sure. Like, you have to at this point until shit changes. To win the game, it's the Rams. The Niners are beat to shit. For a streaming defense, it's the Rams. Keeper 6-man keeper. So you're saying only a 6-man? Oh, you keep 6. Price for Chase Brown only picks. He's still pretty young, man. Probably a second rounder. Oh, I appreciate that, Sean. I've been doing a lot of these solo recently. I have 4 guests though, like 4 partners that I do this with. So usually it's one other person with me, which helps have more of a conversation. This is better for me to answer questions like fast, but I appreciate the compliment, bro. I'm sober tonight, so I'm not as wacky. Usually we get down some crazy wormholes. I'm kind of being all business tonight, so hopefully you don't think it's boring. Fields or May this week? Dobbins or Chase Brown? It's May. It's Drake May. Safer. 4 for a passing touchdown. Man, I love Justin Fields so much. So, like, I might be tempted to play Fields. You know what? I might go Chase Brown to be ballsy. Like, the ballsy play would be Fields and Chase Brown. That's like the upside play. But the safe play is going May and Dobbins. So maybe you can just like do one or the other. What do you guys think in the chat? Help me out because I love Fields and I like Chase Brown. I still like Chase Brown bouncing back. Chase Brown bouncing back is just about the Bengals bouncing back, right? Can they be a functional offense? That was one of the worst things I've ever seen on Monday night. Yeah, just shop it around and try to find a needy team. Try to find a running back needy team, dude. Now, this is the kind of trade I love right here, Alfred. He just traded Quentin Johnson and ETN for Breece Hall and Jamar Chase. I love that, man. Like, I know, like, the other guy's thinking he fleeced you because you have your guys, the guys you traded are doing better. The guys you traded for are better, and they will be better. I have Juwan Jennings as my tight end. Also have Ingram as a backup. Yeah, I would drop Ingram, dude. With Taysom Hill's coming back, that's going to definitely hurt Juwan Johnson. But, yeah, dude, Evan Ingram's not playing that many snaps. He's not great. I mean, I wouldn't rather have Devonta Smith, but, like, it's nice for him because there's a chance something happens with A.J. Brown. And then Devonta Smith, I don't care if they don't throw it anymore. Devonta Smith would be almost a wide receiver 1 because he's a stud. I'm in the northwest burbs of Chicago, like 35 miles west, a small town. Yeah, Woody is definitely worth a waiver pickup, dude. How you doing, Vincent? Brock got offered Tyler Warren for Judkins in a 10-man, but already have Hampton, Genty, Cook, Mason. You have Hampton, Genty, Cook, Mason. Yeah, dude, do that. Tyler Warren's a top 5 tight end. So it's not really that bad of a trade. I think it's pretty fair. And for you, it's even better than that because you have a need, right? Here's the thing in fantasy, man. There doesn't always have to be a winner and a loser in a trade. Both teams can win. That's why a lot of those trades get vetoed because someone sees it and they're like, well, both these teams just got better. I'm going to veto it because people are petty assholes. So I like that trade for both teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a 10-man. You need a tight end. Boom. I don't know if I'd necessarily trade high on Pickens because right now you're going to have to pay like almost wide receiver 1 numbers for the dude. And like, I just don't see him there. I love George Pickens. I have a lot of George Pickens. I would be more likely to look to trade George Pickens and get a haul than I would be to trade for him. No problemo, Dustin. Appreciate you tuning in and commenting, dude. I did offer a second for Chase Brown and a 6-man keeper. I hope so, man. I mean, we just didn't see this slow start coming because, like, I don't think anyone's really a big Ramondre Stevenson fan. Beyond the fact he's just kind of an average back, he's a fumbler, and he has fumbled. And Antonio Gibson's a knucklehead, and they're still not playing him. Like, it's fucking wild. I get why RJ Harvey isn't because he wasn't drafted as highly. He was overdrafted in the NFL draft. So, like, Travion Henderson's a blue chipper. What Henderson showed in the preseason, and the fact that he has, Dobbins is playing well, and he's trusted, right, while he's healthy. Ramondre is not really that great. So it's just concerning. But look at this one from Chandler. 18-man league. Woo! Trade worthy for Kamara. Yeah. In an 18-man league, running backs are just so hard to find. Like, you can stream Nick Westbrook-Akine or Malik Washington. Like, the running backs are going to be streaming in an 18-man league if there's buys or injuries are going to be like guys that don't even see the field. So, yeah, with Bucky. Yeah, 100%, bro. Do that one. I like May's matchup too, though. But I guess here's good call, Dozer, because I think here's what makes sense. Is we just saw the worst game Justin Fields had, and he's a scrambler. Now, Drake May is not as much of a scrambler as Fields, but that was against Buffalo's D. So they have looked kind of gettable recently, but I think it is still Fields. That is a good call. And I'm just so biased on Fields that I don't just want to, like, let my heart. I want to try to make my head here and, like, give you calls with my head more than my heart. Junkbuster, what's up? Are you talking about Jamar Chase or Chase Brown? Because I'm fine. I'm still not worried about Jamar Chase. He'll be fine. Yeah, I do. They have more turnovers this year already than they did last year. But unfortunately, Minnesota's defense is also elite. So I'd rather have Minnesota the rest of the season. I believe more in Minnesota because their scheme is elite. Now, the Jags scheme's good too. Minnesota has better players and better coaches, and I like Minnesota. Take them both, bro. I'd hate having 2 defenses, though, but Minnesota has a week 6 bye, right? Is that right? Week 6 bye. So you might be able to have both of them. Yeah, I'm worried, but I'm not like panicked. I'm not like it's over with, right? I would still rather have Jamar Chase than DK, and I'm a huge DK guy. But give me Jamar Chase. Give me the best receiver talent wise in the NFL. Yeah, Pittman's a weekly start, especially with Alec Pierce banged up, and then Adonai Mitchell costing them the game twice on Sunday. And Josh Downs just snap share, dude. He's still playing 52%. I don't know if he still has that hamstring injury lingering, but it's Pittman, man. He is a high-end wide receiver 3, I'd say. Sam, lost neighbors, need more wide receiver help. I have Benson, Chuba, Mason, Judkins, Kamara, and Pollard. Chuba, I would trade Chuba. You're probably not going to get much for Pollard, but it's those two. Or if you want to trade high on Judkins, that'd probably be the guy. Because you can probably get a haul for Judkins. Oh, hey-oh. What town? What's 1.5 hours south of Chicago? Yeah, Keith. Rashad White's worth a waiver claim in general, especially with we're not going to have news. But if you want to play it safe and not use a waiver claim, pick up Sean Tucker. You don't need to use a waiver claim. Just wait for him to clear and pick up Sean Tucker. Sub-Zero just offered Zay, Hubbard, and K9. Or Zay and Hubbard for K9 and BTJ. Pretty even. Yeah, I like K9 and BTJ, even though I'm not a Kenneth Walker fan. But if you didn't know, we call Kenneth Walker the Tiny Dancer on this channel. Oh, appreciate you, man. Apparently now I am in the business. I'm in the biz, right? I just play a lot of fantasy. I've been doing it for years, and I do consume a lot of. I've tried to narrow down what I watch now. I refuse to watch the fantasy footballers now. I don't learn anything from them. I watch Matt Harmon. Matt Harmon is a god. That guy's a goat. And then in this league, they're on Fantasy Pros, and I listen to their actual podcast. They're hilarious. I want to be entertained, or I want like elite knowledge. So ideally, you find a show that can give you both. Like that's what I'm trying to do here, and that's elite, right? Like if you're going to spend a lot of time, you want to spend your time, you want to learn some shit, but you also want to have some fun. Well, the Bears are on a bye this week, so we can't lose. I feel better about them after that win. Unfortunately, the Raiders are a dumpster fire, so it's not really a win. Like the Raiders lost that game. Yeah, man. I like Emmanuel Wilson. He is the clear handcuff there. And Josh Jacobs is nicked up. Now, the bye week's going to help, but he's one of those deep stashes that's always going to be available. I love it. 18-man league, man. I've only played a 16-teamer as my highest, so 18's wild. I got buys at wide receiver. What's your favorite lottery pick this week at wide receiver? Let's take a little gander here. Favorite, like we're talking deep shot, huh? Io Manor for sure. Io Manor needs to be started for sure. Other than that, I think you can go with Keontae Turpin. I think everyone needs to be stashing Jalen Coker, but he's not playing this week. And then going really deep here, Jalen Tolbert, Malik Washington, and then Nick Westbrook-Akine. Those are the dudes. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you, bro. Baker's going to win MVP, and Ibuka is Rookie of the Year, season ticket holder now for 7 years. Ibuka is a nice dark horse for MVP. I don't know how much of a dark horse he is, but usually it's always a quarterback, right? And it appears like Cam Ward is just not going to get it. He is just not playing good enough. They're not going to win any games. Jackson Dart, unfortunately, could get it because you're looking at they were left for dead with Russ. And if he comes in, they win 6 games and he looks great and he changes that culture. And I think people like Jackson Dart in terms of like the person. I think Tyler Warren, you probably won't have the numbers for it, but Tyler Warren's impact is amazing. But yeah, Ibuka is a stud. And like, thank God you took him. Do you remember when you took him and like you paid Chris Godwin and everyone's like, because no one knew about the second surgery Godwin had. So everyone was like ripping on the pick. And like now it looks genius. Because imagine if you didn't draft Ibuka, you would be and McMillan got hurt, right? And he's out until like week 10. So you'd be in now Evans is hurt. So you'd be running out there with like Sterling Shepard as your one. And now like a hobbled Chris Godwin. So great pick. Tampa's organization, give them a round of applause because the Tom Brady thing was genius. And then getting Baker Mayfield off the scrap heap and just like almost like a Sean McVay, Kevin O'Connell kind of like you just you got the dude. You made him the dude. Fans love him. Teammates love him. The league loves him. I love Baker. So I'm jealous of you as a Bucs fan since I'm a Bears fan. So, yeah. Let me see where I'm at in the chat here. I'm way off here. Sorry. Hey, we got Elite in here. What's going on, Elite? What do you got for me, bro? I did 2 trades today, one being absolute blockbuster, but I'll get to that in a second. Okay, CK got offered Rice for ETN and BTJ. No, that's too much, bro. That's too much. Like, Brian Thomas, I wouldn't sell low on him. You can't sell low on him. I wouldn't do it. I would do try to just do it for like ETN and a worse receiver, or Brian Thomas and a worse running back. Don't give up those 2 guys. In a 10-man league, you probably don't have to, Braden, but I have them in a couple leagues, and they're kind of deeper benches, so I think I'm going to hold them in a 12-man. I hate holding 2 defenses, but the nice thing is they're kind of, I mean, I know it looked bad against the fucking Dallas, but they should be a matchup-proof defense. Like, they got to figure out their secondary, though. All right, Elite says, should I do this deal? Woody, Marks, and Andrews for Bowers and Ladd. I want Bowers and Ladd, like, oh, yeah, dude. Do that trade in a heartbeat. Like, Lamar's hurt. Likely's back. Andrews is just going to be a dart throw for a touchdown. And Woody Marks is like he's getting a lot of noise right now. I like Woody Marks, but he still plays for the Texans. So, yeah, that's the biggest buy low ever. You're getting Bowers and Ladd, right? Fucking Garrett Wilson, man. It's so good to see him actually, like, I mean, the thing is, there's no one else there. So it's awesome for him. And he's playing well. He should have 2 touchdowns, bro. That offensive pass interference team money pissed me off because I have a lot of Garrett Wilson, and luckily he bailed me out with that late touchdown. That was the most bullshit fucking soft phantom call I ever heard in my life. The Jets got fucked in that game, by the way. There was like 6 calls they got screwed on. What do you got for me, Jacob? I need wide receiver help. I have London, Higgins, Jennings, J-Mo, Franklin, Shaheed. Opinions on a trade target for trade Chuba and one of these wide receivers. So I would probably trade Franklin. Well, obviously he sucks, but like trade Franklin and Chuba and just try to get someone decent, dude. Because I don't want to trade Jennings. I mean, I guess you could trade. I don't want to trade J-Mo because you're trading J-Mo way too low. You can't trade Higgins and you can't trade London. London's still stock is not where he should be. No, I'd rather have Ladd than Pollard, man. Pollard's going to be an expiring asset. I would not trade Ladd right now. You're not like that's not enough for Ladd. He's going to be fine. For sure, man. I've been down there many a times, bro. How do you feel about trading away Travion, Ladd, and Travis Hunter for Dobbins and Debo? No, I'm not doing that trade. I want Travion, Ladd, and Debo. You're 1-3 though. Okay. Now that is, I guess you have to do it. I would try to keep Ladd, dude. Try to keep Ladd. So do this. Try to trade Travion and Travis Hunter for Dobbins. Try to trade Travion for Dobbins. Keep Ladd because Ladd is going to be able to help you in the short term. He's going to be fine. So please keep Ladd. Do not just give up on Ladd because, yes, you might help your team for a week or two, but what's the point if your roster's gutted, you know? Well, yeah, Tiny Dancer, bro. That's one of my favorite nicknames ever. With the clip and the music, like, again, if you watch the game against the Cardinals, he had like 5 Tiny Dancer moves where he just could have had 2 yards and he lost 3 because he's trying to hit the home run. No, I wouldn't be mad, bro. I actually prefer Pitts. This week, I might prefer Njoku. Well, obviously, Pitts is on a bye, but now if Darnell Mooney is hurt, then I like Pitts even more. But right now, you have no Cedric Tillman. Jerry Jeudy's the only show in town there, and Njoku is going to get a lot of targets. Yeah, Hayden Winks is the underdog guy, right? They're pretty good. They are pretty good. They not as entertaining. Like Matt Harmon's actually kind of funny. He's a nice little nerd. But I watch Matt Harmon for strict, like, yeah, he makes me chuckle a few times, but that dude is just so far away ahead of the rest of the industry in the way he makes complicated stuff easy for people to digest, if that makes sense. He simplifies stuff, which is what you have to do because he is a G when it comes to fantasy football. So I appreciate Matt Harmon, man. That guy's my guy. DJ Moore. Yeah, DJ Moore's tough. I still feel like DJ Moore will have better games. Trade Pickens for Hampton and BTJ. Yeah, you do that all day, dude. I would trade Pickens for Hampton, honestly. Nope, no D Waller, man. He ran 10 routes. He ran 10 routes. So the 2 touchdowns. And now he'll run more routes and get more targets, but he's not going to be cut. He never was a touchdown guy in his whole career. I think his amazing year of like 102 catches, he had like 5 touchdowns. Ooh, I like this one, man. Kendrick Bourne. Bro, that might be a northern grower. Because if we have no Juwan Jennings and no Ricky Pearsall, now Bourne had an awful drop in the fourth quarter, if you saw that. But good call, bro. I'm writing that down right now because this is why I love this. I have a couple spots where I need a wide receiver. By the way, check out this pen. Bob Ross, bro. Thing's awesome. Got it in a Cracker Barrel. It was a gift. I think I will trade Judkins for Tyler Warren. Yeah, you have to. You need a tight end. I still want Mason over Benson, dude. Like, Benson has a great matchup this week. I guess is the difference. Wait to see what his injury is. It's undisclosed. If he's fully healthy, I could see Benson over Mason, especially in PPR. Half PPR, it's Mason regardless. My running back room is Pacheco, Chubb, and Brown. I have Puka. Should I try to look and trade for him for an elite running back? Man, I wouldn't trade Puka. He's your best player. You just got to bank on Chase Brown becoming Chase Brown again. Then you're fine. It sucks to start Pacheco too, but you really don't have any options, man. I wouldn't just gut your best player unless you can get a haul for him. Sean, I'm not so bullish on Njoku. It's just over who we're talking about. And it's because of the Cedric Tillman injury, man. And like, I feel like Joe Flacco's due for a big game, like a bigger game, and he likes Njoku. And I like Fannin this week too. So I'm not that bullish on him. I'm just more bullish on him. Like, I'd probably rather start Njoku over Bretton Strange because Hunter Long is getting just as much work as Harold Fannin is. And I feel like they're going to deploy Harold Fannin as a wide receiver this week more. And like, they kind of have already, but Njoku's going to be getting, dude, he's going to get 8 targets this game. No, you can't do anything with DJ Moore because you're not going to get more than a bag of peanuts for him. You got to hold him. If you can bench him, that's cool, but that's all you can do. Ooh, Godwin looked really bad, bro. He had 9 targets. He had 3 catches, I think. He looked bad. He can't jump. He can't cut. Hopefully that was just rust, but no, I'm not selling the Niners right now. I think CMC's a sell high because with all these guys being hurt and all the usage he's getting, he ain't going to stay healthy. Well, they just like they went all in with Tom Brady on their roster, and then somehow they rebuilt without rebuilding. Like, the good organization, man. You got teams like the Raiders who are trying to rebuild for 8 years, and they're still in this situation with Geno Smith. We hear he's out for 3 weeks, but I don't know. I haven't seen that reported online. So that was reported from some people in the chat. I don't think they were trolling us, though. So it would make sense, though, because they have a week 7 bye. Unfortunately, if they only win one more game, they're 2-4 going into that bye. They could be 1-5 going in that bye. Although I think that team with healthy Lamar and their defense coming back 1-5, they could still make the playoffs. I think they're still good, Cry Dog. That was just what's up, by the way? That was just a fucking bad game. That was just a bad game. I think they might have overlooked the Cowboys, honestly. Man, I think I'd still want Brian Thomas, but I could see why you'd do it. I think Brian Thomas is gonna have some positive regression. But I can see why you do it. Make sure if you do that and they have Blake Corum, make sure you do a 2-for-2 and get Blake Corum. Or find the other owner that has Blake Corum and make a deal. Try to get Blake Corum if you're getting Kyron. I would do that one, CK. I would do Debo and ETN for Rice. I forget the first name you gave me. I wouldn't do that one. That was it Brian Thomas? Oh, I don't forget who it was, but Jay, Henry, Wilson, Olave for my Jacobs, Keenan, Power, and Marks. It's Derrick Henry, Garrett Wilson, Olave. So Jacobs is the best player in the trade. Keenan, Power, and Marks. Yeah, I would probably do that, man. You're getting Henry, Wilson, and Olave. Sucks you got to give up Jacobs, but like, I would do that. If you can afford to keep them, team money, I don't know, man. It's in an IDP league, yeah, but like in a normal redraft, until they commit to him playing one side of the ball, ideally offense, you're getting fucking 3 catches for 30 yards. Who to pick up if they're still there? Robinson or Slayton? It's Wan'Dale. In full PPR, it's Wan'Dale. Maybe in half PPR, it's Slayton, but I think it's Wan'Dale Robinson. Yeah, and he's apparently a bad rapper, too. What do I do? Lamar doubtful, Saquon, Benson, Ridley, Devontae Bowers, Travion. Who can you get at quarterback? I think you got to ride it out. I'm trying to think who you could trade here. You don't have a lot of guys. All your team sucks. Like, they don't suck, but they've been sucking, if that makes sense. So there's really no one you can trade. Like, you're gonna get 70 cents on the dollar at best for all those guys. Maybe Benson. Ryan, I'm a little worried about like efficiency against Cleveland's run D, but I'm not worried about his volume because like that's going to be a close game. Like, Cleveland is not capable of blowing anyone out. So that's the worry with Mason is he gets game scripted out, kind of like what happened to Trey Benson against Seattle. So you're not going to get game scripted out with Mason, and he can get you 3 or 4 catches. So, and you know what? Like, Cleveland's defense is great, but like we all thought the Packers defense was amazing, and it still is good. We saw the Packers get run all over and thrown all over. Like, Cleveland could just have a bad game too. So I would not be worried about Mason. Volume alone makes him a top 15 dude. Yeah, DeMarcus Robinson. I think he knows the system, but he hasn't been there as long because he was suspended. And when you're suspended, you can't be parts of team activities. So I think we're going Bourne over DeMarcus Robinson. Yeah, Isaiah Bond. He's playing a lot. He's definitely a deep threat. He's not really polished, but he's got some juice. So that could be definitely a dart throw. Well, Flacco probably isn't starting week 6, but I'm pretty sure he's starting week 5. Yeah, bro. Well, you know what? Me and Story were all about Nico, and we were fading Puka, but it wasn't because of Puka. Yes, he has some injury concerns. It was because of the Matt Stafford bullshit that they kept on telling us Matt Stafford had an epidural. Matt Stafford has back problems, and it's awful. That was all bullshit. That was a smokescreen, I think, because he's running quarterback sneaks in the second quarter. He's getting fucking bent, like crushed in the pocket and like getting back up. He looks fine. He looks like he's 25 years old. So I think they were just fucking with us. And I'm pissed because I would have had a lot more Puka if I wasn't worried about Matt Stafford. And like, we got fucking lied to, man. Because that was the worry. It was like, and the thing is, Puka is always kind of quarterback proof, but you prefer him in the first round to have Matt Stafford. And it looked like it was going to be an issue all year. Those reports were stupid. I dropped Judy and Tillman. Fuck Cleveland. Mistake by the lake. Ooh, that's a good. That should be their slogan on the stadium. Mistake by the lake. Welcome to the Browns. Welcome to the dog pound. Ooh, Joshua Madsen. Is that you, Josh? My dude, the most handsome football player in the NFL. Ooh, I think it's Josh Allen. He's a handsome dude. I explained it the other day in the stream. He's a big burly guy. He's a little hairy, but he's not too hairy. He's handsome. He's almost like a Chris Pratt. Like, oh man, I love Josh Allen. My wife loves Joe Burrow. So I think Joe Burrow's a nerd. Still a pretty decent looking guy. May's in the top 12. I'd say he's like between 11 and 13 with definitely some upside. Like he hasn't had a lot of receiving weapons this year. Stephon Diggs has been slow coming back from the ACL. You haven't seen Kyle Williams, a rookie, play yet. So he's really throwing to Hunter Henry, and then Travion Henderson hasn't been much of a factor. So he's going to be better, and their defense is trash. What's up, Devious? How you been? My favorite time of the year, bye weeks. I do like bye weeks because you have to have some strategy. You know what I'm saying? Robinson, London, rocking with Harrison and QJ. Well, of course you love bye weeks. You got Quentin Johnson, and you got Judkins. Judkins, Kamara, and Benson, who would be my 4? I would play JT, and I would play Judkins, and then Benson. Benson and Judkins are close. Kamara might be the lowest. If it's full PPR, I can see going Kamara, but he hasn't been catching the ball. Yes, Griffin. I would definitely trade A.J. Brown for Rice right now. If you're 1-3, though, I wouldn't do it. Although you're not getting much from A.J. Brown. If you're 2-2, probably. If you're 3-1, I would. If you're 4-0, fucking do that trade right now. Scotty boy, would you do Quentin Johnson and Garrett Wilson for St. Brown? Oh, you're getting Quentin Johnson and Garrett Wilson. I don't know, dude. St. Brown is so good and so safe right now. That's pretty much a wash. I'd say if it's a deep league, I'd rather have the two. If it's a shallow league, I'd rather have St. Brown. Blake Corum is a number one stash, Dozer, like one of the number one stashes, almost ahead of Algier, just because like Kyron Williams is way more likely to get hurt than Bijan Robinson. So Blake Corum for sure. Kendre Miller maybe in a 12-teamer. It's just you're tied to a bad offense there, but he looks great. That touchdown run Kendre Miller had last week, I literally thought it was Alvin Kamara. So that's a ringing endorsement. Oh, good evening, Robbie. Full PPR. Which two wide receivers should I start? Pearsall. Pearsall's probably not playing. Jameson, Godwin, Pittman. It's Jameson and Pittman for me. And I would target Strange over Waller. Again, Waller ran 10 routes that game. I'm going to keep on saying it. 2 touchdowns, but ran 10 routes. Like, that's insane. Couple trade offers. Debo, Chuba, Io Manor, Powered. So it's Debo, Chuba, Io Manor. I would try to get Waddle, bro. Like, that's if you can get him for like his normal value right now, I would do it. 0-4, lost CD, traded him, Chase Brown for CMC. Your team's fine. Myers has screwed you. Devonta's kind of screwed you, and Worthy's been hurt. So you're fine going forward. I like your team. It'll turn around. Oh yeah, Lions D is top 3, top 4 stream this week. Maybe even play this week. But my only concern is that the Bengals could come out and actually be okay this week. You know, like they do have weapons. So trade proposal: Jordan Addison for a Stroud, own Lamar Jackson. So no. You don't want CJ Stroud. You can do better than CJ Stroud. He's terrible. Pick up anyone. Pick up Joe Flacco, dude. Like I mean, Stroud's probably better this week, but I wouldn't fuck with that. I wouldn't trade any skill players for CJ Stroud. Trade Pickens and Henderson for Hampton and BTJ. Trade Pickens and Henderson for Hampton. I want Hampton and BTJ. Yep. Hampton and BTJ. Yeah, dude. Happy birthday. Sorry to hear that, brother. The Matt Stafford shit, it's so stupid. Like, there's no way he looks this good. That must have, maybe there was a little bit of a back thing. I just think Matt Stafford didn't want to go through OTAs and shit. Eric says, what would you do with Puka and Jigba, Worthy, Addison? I mean, you got good receivers. Charbonnet, Harvey, and Jacobs on bye. Ooh. Hold on. I'll get to your question here in a second, Cry. You just got to start Charbonnet and Harvey, man. That's fine. Or if you could start a receiver, well, you got to start 2 running backs so that you just got to roll with what you got. Yeah, I got to add the cat sound. I got to find a way to do it. I'm still kind of figuring out this app. Rate my team. Caleb Dart, JT, Benson, Kamara, Judkins. Those are good running backs. Mbuka, JSN, Io Manor, Diggs, Worthy, Juwan Johnson. Try to get a tight end, bro. I like it. I would try to get a tight end. Trade Juwan Johnson and maybe trade Diggs off that big week. Or trade Juwan Johnson and Kamara. Well, that's 2 guys on that. You don't want to start 2 Saints anyway. Try to get a better tight end. Yeah, Jimmy G's a stud for sure. I want Pickens. For sure. I'm a little concerned about Shaheed, man. He's not playing it. I thought he'd be an every snap player. He was on the field like 64% of the snaps last week. I love the player. They're just not throwing downfield very much. So I think Shaheed will get better when they have Tyler Shuck playing. And I don't know when that's going to be, but it's got to be soon. They're 0-4. And they drafted Shuck in the 2nd round. Is that for real, man? Holy shit. Well, damn. I don't know. Dylan Gabriel kind of sucks. I wouldn't do it, Wesley. I would not trade Addison for Stroud. Heyo. Enjoy, Ryan. Enjoy. Send us a video, dude, in the chat, in the Discord. Send us a video, please. I want it from your angle so I can see you. If you know what I mean. It's probably Hunter, or it's probably Hunter Henry, dude. I like Strange this week too, but Hunter Henry's just been good, and like the wide receivers are so shitty there, and Travion's not playing much. It's Hunter Henry. Well, they're starting to compete with Philly a little bit more, but they're not going to throw unless they have to. I'm still starting them because Denver's defense, that is, because I don't want to have to roster 2 defenses. And Denver's defense is elite. You saw it. I mean, I know the Bengals suck, but they're still a top 3 fantasy defense. You drafted them. Thank you for the kind words, man. I would trade Woody Marks for Tet right now. Yes, do that one. Woody Marks could be, I mean, he's just going to be limited with that offense. Again, I've been saying it all year. I think Joe Mixon's not coming back, but there still is a chance. Like, and Nick Chubb's not going anywhere. It's still Woody. It's going to be Woody Marks' job, but Ted is the wide receiver 1 there, and he's a wide receiver 2 in fantasy. I would play Ladd. Again, I know it seems gross. But Ladd will have a big game here. He might do it, bro. It's still Brock Bowers, and like people love the name Brock Bowers. He was drafted in the middle of the 2nd round for a reason. Oh, I love Fannin long term. Njoku's going to get moved. He has to be moved. Why wouldn't they trade Njoku? It just makes sense for them. Logan says trade away Nico and Kyron for Bijan and Drake May. Well, if you need a quarterback, that's a lot, bro. I don't know if I do that. That's a lot. Try to get another player. Try to do a 3 for 3. Try to get another player. Try to trade Judkins and get someone upgrade and try to get another stud or something like that. You have to. No, it's not San Francisco tomorrow, man. They're beat to shit. It's going to be Thursday, actually. Technically, it is tomorrow. No, it's still 11 o'clock here. No, I think that they're too beat up right now. Yeah, bro. If it's your 3rd quarterback, you take a fucking running back all day. Yeah, Jacoby had a couple big games. That was in the back of like 12 targets. So I think they're going to rein back Geno Smith's passing attempts, or you might see Kenny Pickett in the near future. Kendre Miller or Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon. I'd say Ollie Gordon. For both starting this week and then for a stash. It's Ollie. Jay, I'm probably higher on Judkins, although there's still a small risk of a suspension this year. Like Aaron Jones will come back and eat into his workload a little bit. No one's eating into Judkins right now. Yes, I like the Vikings offense better, but short term, I think I like Mason the next 3 or 4 weeks, but long term, it's Judkins. Yeah, 100%. That's part of my anti-Quentin Johnson thing. Not anti, but saying he's not going to be a top 10 receiver. It's not going to happen anyway, but yeah, Ladd, that's going to make quicker throws, right? I think so, dude. Drake London is one of the best red zone receivers in the league. He gets all the red zone targets, so yes. I like Brashard Smith's dynasty value. I mean, if I don't even know what that is, like in terms of like how high it is, but I think he's definitely a sneaky play. It might not be at all, Jay. It might be next year. It might be 3 games this year. We have no idea. The NFL doesn't give us this information, and that's what they do. 2 quarterback league, full PPR, only had Mariota, Daniels, and Stroud. Traded Hunter Henry when I had McBride for Geno. I mean, you had to do it. I'm fine with it. You had McBride, so it's no big deal. All right, gentlemen, I got to take off pretty soon. It is my wife's birthday tomorrow. She's currently watching a show in there, so I gotta hang out with her, and I want to hang out with her. Does Scat stay RB1? Yeah, it's Scat's job, bro. If I get a couple super chats, I will answer some questions. Stick around for another 20 minutes if you guys want me to. Otherwise, I do have to hang out with my wife. She will understand because I'll buy her some scratch-offs or something. Dom says happy birthday. The charges were dropped in terms of Judkins, but unfortunately, anytime there is a domestic issue, like we saw it with who the hell was it? Rookie year. Ezekiel Elliott. He got the charges dropped. He still got suspended. So we just don't know, and they're not going to tell us. I bet it's less likely than likely, but like I think there's still a 33% chance he gets suspended. So I guess we'll have to see on that one, but it is still a risk, right? Like it's still a risk where Mason has no risk. The only risk to Mason is now if you told me Aaron Jones was out for the year, then I would want Mason over Judkins. But the fact Aaron Jones will be back eating into that passing down work, yeah, it's Judkins. Hurts or Dak this week? It's Hurts. It's always going to be Hurts. I'm going to play my dude. No, that was like paid leave, man. That wasn't a suspension. Well, the reason that Tyreek didn't get suspended was because he was on the Chiefs early in his career. And then he went to the Dolphins and they were relevant for 2 years. Had he had another one, he did have one this year, there was a possible suspension coming. Like that's how the NFL works, man. McCullough, I hope so, just because I love Corum and I have 1 million shares of Corum, only like 3 shares of Kyron. I don't know what the odds are, dude, but I feel like actually taking the job when he's healthy, he's never going to take the job like Kyron has a job now, but he might make it a 50-50. I say that's a 33% chance, honestly, because Corum didn't look great last week, but the rest of the games he's looked better. Dak is now considered an elite quarterback, right? Yeah. I mean, he is, even without CD, because the defense is so bad. That's going to help. So, yeah, he's a top 10 guy. Scratch offs for fantasy talk. Thoughts on this? Hey, thank you, Sam. Thoughts on this trade in a full PPR league? Yeah, lay it on me, brother. Oh, yeah. Well, Josh Gordon got suspended for smoking grass, which is just insane. That was different times we were living in, but like that was so stupid. But again, Josh Gordon was on the Browns. They don't give a shit about the Browns. Kyron's good, but he's nothing special, bro. Like I feel like Blake Corum has more juice for sure. I know they just did sign him. That's the one thing that has kind of changes my opinion on that one. But Sean McVay is going to do it his best chance to win. They do love Kyron there. He's a great pass blocker. He's a pro. He's great around the goal line. So he's never going to take the job from him. But here's the thing. Kyron's known to be injury prone. That's why Blake Corum's a must add. Yeah, I get you there. Right now, it's about, 70-30-ish, 60, but which is actually low. Like, usually Sean McVay is 80 to 85% for his lead back. So it is lower. I think I'd go, 65-35. I would say in a 6 for a passing touchdown is Dak. In a 4 for a passing touchdown is probably Drake May. He's going to get you 6 or 7 rushing touchdowns. Flash Gordon, baby. Little Ted reference. Would you drop Kyler for Fields? Probably. The only problem is like I don't agree with it, but there's a chance that they bench him for Tyrod Taylor. I don't know why they do it because Tyrod's 35 years old. Jets aren't going anywhere. That's the only problem. Like Kyler's probably not losing his job. But if there's good guys in the wire and you can like withstand that risk to not have a quarterback in week 10, I like Fields over Kyler. Did Josh Gordon get a DUI? I don't know if he got a DUI. They do need to give him the lead role or at least give him 50% of the work or 60% of the work and the high value stuff. They don't do it. Game over. Do not worry about Benson. That was just a bad game script. He played over 70% of the snaps in the first half when the game was relatively close. Then they went to the scat back DeMarcado. The only worry is he has an undisclosed injury, and maybe that was partially baked into why he didn't play that much in the second half. That just came out today. So just keep an eye on it. Yeah, all that stuff definitely happened when he went to the Pats. But like the original suspensions were just for weed, I think. What's up, Ryan? Sam, what was your trade in full PPR? I don't want to get off before you you let me know that trade. So I'll stick around. I already have Dak starting. That's why I thought dropping Kyler for Fields. Oh, yeah. If you already have Dak, then yeah, Fields is a high upside play. You'll never want to play Kyler over Dak. I could see playing Fields over Dak some weeks. Yeah, Lynch was buzzed, and Lynch just celebrated. That DUI video with Lynch was hilarious and awesome. He's still getting Subway commercials and shit and still on the sideline reporting. So, like, I think Marshawn Lynch is just a likable black pirate, and that's what he is. So, if they ever do another Pirates of the Caribbean, can we please get like an all-black cast version and we have Marshawn Lynch being the head fucking pirate? Be awesome. Yeah, bro. In a 4 for a passing touchdown league, I like Dart a lot more. Without Malik Neighbors, he's not going to throw much, but he's going to run for 40, 50 yards and possibly a rushing touchdown. Yeah, Sam. Where you at, Sam? I need you, Sam. There it is. Oh, see, Sam's just, he donates to make a joke. What a great guy. Let's all applaud Sam here. Appreciate you, bro. Ryan, I have Diggs, Addison, and Shaheed available on my waivers and have room for 2. Who should I add? Diggs for sure. Diggs and Addison. It's Diggs and Addison. I like Shaheed, but those 2 guys are just on better offenses and better players, better role. Dom, if I'll say this, if we have another week of no Terry McLaurin, Luke McCaffrey is a stash, maybe even a start. If McLaurin's back, there's no point. Oh, the Devil's lettuce. And the fact that Gibson's a fumbler and a knucklehead, like, use him on special teams, bro. Like, why are they using Gibson? Like, I get the Stevenson thing, maybe, but the fact they're having a 3-headed backfield when they spent a first-round pick on Henderson, disgusting. I hope he gets cut. Shedeur Sanders, what a clown. Like, his dad, like, dude, you're not your dad. What a clown. He cost himself millions of dollars. Could have played for a good organization in the 3rd round. Could have been a first-rounder, even though he wasn't a first-round talent, but he disrespected the process, thought he was above the law in terms of, like, too good for the combine and all that shit. You're not that good, Shedeur Sanders. God, I miss Percy Harvin, dude. I think top 14 in PPR. He's ranked higher. He's almost a wide receiver 1, man. The Chiefs offense looks like it's going to start humming too. I still think I might go Montgomery this week over Woody Marks. I want to see it one more week from Woody Marks, but in full PPR, I wouldn't blame you for starting Woody over David Montgomery. I mean, we'll see. I don't know when he's going to get an opportunity. He's got a lot of hate. All the GMs hate him, dude. I would do, if you have a winning record, Pat, I would trade Derrick Henry for Lamb. If it's full PPR, especially. Half PPR and standard, I probably want Henry. But again, if you're 2-2, maybe not. 1-3, definitely no. 4-0, do it. Yep, Mike Vrabel. Fucking goddamn it. Hating on rookies. Yes, Bryce Young will hold him back, but it will eventually even out. Jay Ajayi, dude, had a great I think it was a 2nd year in the league. My wife's an angel and she wants to go golfing and she doesn't even golf. She just rides in the cart with me. So we're going to go golfing. We're going to drink some beers, then going to go play music bingo and then probably bang. So yeah, she's that's the kind of awesome woman she is. She's hot too with huge tits. I don't know what she's doing with me. I don't fucking question it. Must have a good personality. I have a pretty large penis. Max Crosby's not just the most elite pass rusher. He's the most elite playmaker, bro. He wrecked that game. The fact that they didn't win that game with Max Crosby and Gentry's performance. The CD owner is starting Blake Corum at running back, and he won't take an ETN trade without Marks. You can't do ETN and Marks, but if you want to, you can. That's just, he's silly. What's his record? Because if he's got a losing record, he's just throwing in the towel there. Yeah, Kaepernick should be in the league, or should have been in the league. Judkins or Jordan Mason this week. I still want to go Jordan Mason personally, but that's just me. I think I'm in the minority there. All right, gentlemen, I got to get off. Answer a couple more. Again, if someone wants to throw me another super chat, I'll stay on for 5 more minutes and answer your question. Otherwise, I do have to get to my wife. I do believe Shedor's actions will change. Yeah, I think this is a wake-up call for Shedeur. I hope it is, right? But, like, it should never came to this. Just fucking show up and do some work, bro. Like, no one's above the law. You know, you're not like Janny Menzel, like those guys, dude. Come on. The greats put in the work. Alex, you're looking good there. And yes, Scatabo is a Mr. CTE. All right, gentlemen. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to play a clip, talk you out. And then, again, tomorrow night, it's her birthday, but I will probably be on late night for a little quickie or something. I'll do something. I will do something.
You asked to see me. I made your Cajun chicken niblets.
No. You made my year. You have a gift. And a super dope hat. This is cool. All right, boys. Let's go!
Baller, it's Bretton Strange. Bretton Strange for sure. Waller ran 10 routes last week. Yes, Shiloh is an asshole. That whole family's kind of an asshole. Alex says he's 1-3. Yeah, just keep on trying, man. Keep on talking into it. Last one, Pat. Chase, Williams, and Tyler Warren for Barkley, Johnson, and Smith. So that's Jamar Chase, Kyron Williams, and Tyler Warren for Barkley, Johnson, and Devonta Smith. No, I like Chase. I like Jamar Chase, Williams, and Tyler Warren. Don't do that trade. All right, gentlemen, I'm out of here. Thank you for those that super chatted. I appreciate you guys. Got a lot of good stuff coming up soon. I got a partnership deal with a betting site that I have an awesome promo for you guys on. I got my Patreon starting up with a lot of good perks for everyone. A lot of good shit in that. Hell yeah, I will, Jay. A lot of good shit there. We'll most likely see you tomorrow. Stay positive. Love your life. Respect each other. And remember, life is a gift. That's why it's called the present. I'm out of here. Peace, boys. Appreciate